Hi, how you doing, everybody? Blah blah blah, blah 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 blah. We were supposed to be playing a game tonight, but unfortunately, things happen. We have a lot of lost players, which is something we could talk about tonight. This is why we're doing our see, I was going to say bi-monthly. It's not bi-monthly, is it? Let's be fair. Uh, our thing,
Sporadic.
our sanity check-in, our lovely talk episodes of when we ask each other questions in regards to just games we're playing in general. Obviously centered around Folorium, the world of Folorium. I'm contractually obliged to do that every time I mention the world of Folorium. So
I like to feel like it's the "Are we ready to rumble?" and you're getting paid $1 million every time you say it.
let's get ready
He
to
owns the
rumble. Yeah,
copyright for that,
he does.
so
Quite
no one
right.
else
I
can
know
say it.
that's what it's something like he gets several million every time he says it, and nobody else can say it on show.
And his brother's got one as well. His brother owns that Let's Go.
Yeah,
It's the UFC one. Let's go. Can't say that
it's
for any fighting thing unless it's him.
it's insane, man. Unless you pay him royalties.
Unless you pay him
Uh,
royalties, yeah. That's
We're
mental.
in the
I'm
wrong.
not
We're
royalties
in the
for
wrong
Let's Go.
business. Yeah, we're in the.
Should just
We're in the
copyright
wrong
random
business.
sentences we say in stream.
I think it's the way you say it. I mean, it's got to be a VO
Aye.
choice, right?
Aye, it's gonna have to
Um,
be like if
I
we
mean,
listen to both.
yeah, I'm pretty sure I can say "Let's get ready to rumble." It's just I can't say it in the "Let's get." Yeah, because we
They're
get
making
Let's
royal.
money
get
off it.
ready to
Say it.
rumble.
Let's get ready to fumble.
See, that's the better way to do it. Like, oh, we didn't say rumble, we said
We said
fumble.
fumble. Yeah, I'm copywriting that, by the way. Everybody else copyrighted. You can't say. You can't say. Let's get ready to fumble.
I watched a film one time and they had a sweepstakes in it called the Blottery. And the whole
Yeah.
way through, I was like, are they saying lottery? And then eventually it comes out and it's on the wall and it's called the Blottery. I'm like,
Mhm.
right, that's how they done that. It's like, I didn't know what the lottery was trademarked. Apparently it is.
I love how some movies take the mickey out it as well. Like Coming to America, where it's McDonald's.
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
actually go into it. Yeah,
But
that's
they
a whole
even
thing,
make a
isn't it?
joke in stream that he's taking
We've
from
got
a
the Big Mick.
very
We've got the
serious
Big Mick.
retailer that they never
Yeah.
mention, and it's very implied
Yeah.
that he's stealing from McDonald's.
Exactly. So, but yeah, that's kind of weird, that, isn't it? You're all right, Rach. We were just waiting for you to before we
Oh,
go
sorry,
live.
guys.
No, that's
We're just
fine.
done.
So if there's anything you want to say before we go live, you just go ahead and get it out your system.
Just kill me.
We're live.
Jesus. Guys are
We're
all
actually live.
We're live the whole time. It was a
We
trick.
were live the whole time. It was a trick. Yeah, you didn't hear us
Just
say we
kill
were
me.
going live. Yeah, okay.
I stand by my statement.
I got dark very quickly. Speaking of dark, let's start these with the questions with the likes of because it's the world of Folorium after all, and it's supposed to be the world of Folorium tonight. So let's talk about it. Yeah, yeah. Anyone got any questions?
I've got a question.
Yeah, go give us a question. Shoot, who's it for?
Hey, you. Where the fuck's the rest of our players?
Well, I am I am not at liberty anyway to say. All I can really turn around and say is, yeah, they're doing their own thing. In game,
Totally say where they are. Shim's at Pipey Band, and
well,
Brothers No Pod.
yeah. Well, I was
Like
going to say,
it's not gonna like.
in game,
Oh,
I think Ronan's taken a wee while to look after his mum, especially after finding out that his dad's missing. Not only that, Sally has taken an existential crisis. Well, sorry, Daphne has taken an existential crisis. It could be Sally as well. We don't know. But it's Daphne has taken an existential crisis after finding out one of her friends is one of those
Punching.
things. And yeah, that went from there. Uh, our good friend David, who plays Sir Janis de Grande, the greatest bard ever in the world, he is out the country. Our good friend Leon, who plays Gaz, is not here either, but he might be back. So yeah, it's kind
He
of
said
it's
he'd be
kind of
back
going.
in 5 minutes, 20 minutes ago. So
Yeah, well,
But he also says
Gaz,
he
well,
wasn't sure if he was joining.
yeah, and Leon, to be fair, also always says, "Yeah, I will be here, and I'll make sure." But he always messages us in the private group chat to say, "What time we playing D&D tonight? We'll play D&D every Tuesday."
behind the curtain stuff for everyone there. Yep, Leon has forgotten multiple times that we play this every week, and has often said things along the lines of, "Are you sure?"
Yeah, and
Yeah, that's
yeah,
basically what happened.
this is a thing. But Yeah, so that's like to say, this was going to be a significantly shorter group this time, and it'll be interesting to see where you go from here as a group, because I have no idea where you're going to go after this. I don't know if you're going to follow up on anything that's happened recently, or just go, you know what, let's get the fuck off. Let's get the fuck off the island of Vakus.
I'm
Mm.
not sure. I think
Well,
this
I mean,
island's quite small, isn't it?
That was relatively big. I mean, it's big enough to have, you know, a lot of. Well, it's got a key. It's got a major city, major city at the bottom of the key, and then you've got the kind of like the farmland area, which is pretty interesting. Because there has to be somewhere where you can grow food. There's the only reason I added the island of Vakus.
Maybe we should take the old guy's house as well as this ship.
I'm
you would
pretty
take it.
sure that you'll have an old guy's house. I mean, you've taken everything else of him, you know.
What
Yeah.
do you mean take his house?
Like make it our own sort of house.
I mean, the
So like a
I like to
team
think you're
base.
going to take the house off the island and put it on our boat. You stole from him.
my concern with this is that we have discovered that there is a minimum of 2 of these things. And he didn't say my brother, he said my brethren.
Oh, you picked up on that, did you?
Well, you repeated it to me. I think that
I did.
for some reason, think I wouldn't pick up on it. But
Well,
yeah,
well, it's a whole bunch of changelings. There's gonna be more than one or two.
at no point was that lore ever dumped on me. No one said, "Oh, they travel in packs." They just went, "Oh, old ones are go a bit crazy enough to feed every day." That's what I got told. And it's like, "Oh, by the way, there might be dozens of them." It's like, wait a fucking minute. So that's much more of an issue. I don't think we've been willy-nilly running around by ourselves. We thought it was one old one we were dealing with. Unless I missed that whole bit. There was a part where I'd go and make a cup of tea, so maybe he's done it then.
I think it just depends on the changeling themselves. Because
Yeah, and
obviously now you guys know that I am one.
well,
And I'm
that's
obviously by myself,
literally what I
so
was
it
going to say there. You know of
just
at least 3
depends.
changelings.
Yeah, it
Aye,
just
one's
depends.
travelers, but I assumed that you were solitary, and like that's why, and also what I took from the
That's the
conversations.
assumption, though. Like, this is
Again,
what we
I feel like
think.
it was a safe assumption because that's
This is
based
an
on the
assumption
information I was
we've made
given.
off my 4 history roll that I rolled.
Is the changeling that hangs out with us not correcting us? By the way, they might be a family of this could be grandpa who's like all crazy, and then like his 17 kids. By the way, we always have at least 27 kids,
Well,
and then
the
his
age
805. Everyone in the island's going to turn out to be a changeling. Like, why did they even bother changing?
changelings only live as like same lifespan as humans, though. So there's not going to be a ton of them, like generations and generations of them.
I mean, it could be
Might be a
3
family,
generations.
sure, but there's
I
not going
actually
to be.
hope you're enjoying the fact that I put nothing into this game and I just do it off the fly.
Can,
No, that's
can,
not true.
can
This
I
is
point?
all written.
Can I point out something? This is something that I'm loving about the fact that it's homebrew and Richard's the DM he is. See how if I fail a history roll, I, as a player, might know the D&D story behind a specific creature. So, like, I've always got that in the back of my head. I try to RP it out, but it's like, you always know in the back of your head, oh, this is weak against fire. And it's like, maybe I will try doing fire damage to it just to see what happens. You
Maybe
get what
we
I mean?
picked that
Yeah.
one.
I have no clue what these things are. And also, Richard sometimes gives you the truth when you fail your roll, and sometimes he doesn't, so you can never know if your history is right or wrong.
Yeah, because if you look back in some of the games we've done, I have given you the truth
Yeah.
on the odd occasion.
And I've had like a 15 for something. I've got some information, but not the information I needed.
Yeah, well, like so they say with the history stuff. See if you're tagged in history and you've got a pretty good pip in history, as in like a +4 or a +5. There's a good fucking chance you're going to be well versed in something. The only time I don't give you anything specific is if it's really, really rare lore, likes of the changeling stuff. But you would know that,
Now
as
maybe
would
you've heard the myth
our good
of it.
friend. Yeah, exactly. I'm not
Does
gonna. It's. I know people turn around and say this is why make people roll if you're not gonna
Oh, my
if you're
history
gonna
shit.
make them fail. It says no, that's not the case. It says the way I do it is if you're gonna roll, there's going to be a chance you're not going to fail. It's just how much you're going to glean from what you remember. Which is your history roll of 4. So you're well versed in all these mythical creatures and stuff. You would know something.
Especially when something like I also think it for historical, because like fantasy is
Yeah.
sort of based in medieval times. Now, someone that's well read on mythology in medieval times might know a lot about British mythology. Doesn't mean they're going to know jack shit about like as in any other culture's mythology, because it's all spoken.
Well,
like
the other thing I did that with your history 4 roll was I did in some bullshit from other creatures. There's a good chance you've misremembered and went,
aye.
oh yeah.
Oh no, that
So
was
I
a
was
change
right.
long. Or
You can
something
breathe
like,
underwater.
No, well, that's the thing. Is I gave you relevant information to what you from the role and what you gleaned at the time. Some of that is true. Some of that is has been mixed up with other creatures. This is where I went right. Okay, because on the history roll 4 went yeah okay right. So this is what you gleaned this, you gleaned that. You just didn't know what creature it was until our good friend here, the changeling, mentioned it was a changeling, and they went clicks. And then I started
It took
trying
a while for
correcting.
everyone to listen to me, however.
This is true. And then I tried to correct everything on that. So
but
You typed a
Melgrim
note of
wouldn't
anger
listen
there,
to you.
Rachel.
Melgrim
Yeah.
thinks he knows
I
better.
was a bit.
no, there
I'm
was
a change.
there was
We're looking for changelings. Like,
there was a
Shut up,
conversation me and
you!
Rachel were having back and forth at that point when she was
Yeah,
going and
yeah.
says yes. To be fair, you'd be getting pretty angry about the fact that okay. I am one of these people. I was expecting you just to come out and go, you know why I know? Because I fucking am one. I just expected you to
I just
honestly.
messaged Richard and I went, I quit.
oh, I'm
I said,
sorry.
I can't
I'm
do this
sorry I
anymore.
made you feel that way, but it was me being Melgrim at that time.
No,
Like, he
yeah, it's
wouldn't.
Melgrim. He obviously thought that down that trail because that's his experience of what happened. Because obviously,
Yeah.
when I was Nim, I went through the same experience.
Yeah.
But Nyla's kind of like, I'm telling you without telling you this. So,
Yeah, and he
but
was
for me, it was like,
it was basically Melvin mansplaining at this point. He goes, "No, this is why." He says,
Exactly.
because he doesn't know what you're going to know, and why would you know that anyway? Well, this is quite a rare thing to know.
Mhm. And
But
to be
yeah, so
fair,
that was
nobody was listening to me except Lee. Eventually, you started listening to me, and so did you. Obviously, you did. You're the DM.
Sally was as well, if memory
I would
serves me.
argue that I always listened because you'd messaged me a little while before and told me you wanted to talk to my character, so I've been waiting on you doing it.
Yes,
really I
yeah,
didn't know this.
Yeah.
yeah, I did. Yeah, I didn't tell you that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're in the group chat that you're not in. Mm.
Oh, good. You're in the group chat. I'm not in that. Oh, that makes sense. To be fair, because I
Well,
did
to be
ask
fair,
you
that's
to
just
do
me and
that.
Rachel. Like,
I was gonna
messaged me
say it's just
directly.
our
So
chat,
Well, it's
Lee.
one of
group of
those
two people.
one of those
It's
group
just-
chats.
yeah.
Okay.
Well,
get
I
that.
tried to do that with Mutant once, and it completely backfired on us because Lee
Yeah, it
didn't have
did.
anything prepped, so we were like, probably shouldn't keep things for the
That's
DM.
true. Yeah. No, exactly.
It's
Because
one
I
thing
feel
if
like
it's a
that
fun
at times as well.
conversation you're gonna have. If you just run off into the zone, it's like,
Hmm.
see ya.
I was going to say, if for the viewers as well, if for our 100th follower, you too can be part of that that special chat that Rachel does with Lee. 100th viewer, you have to be not viewer,
It's
you
not
have
the
to be our
secret
100th
chat with
follower.
It's not the
I'll just
secret
message you.
chat with Lee.
It's like-
It's the secret chat between Nim and no Nim, Nyla, isn't it the new one?
Too soon.
Yeah.
Too soon.
Yeah. Nyla and Gaz. I want to see that secret chat.
Oh, Gas is
It's
in
funny
love.
because
Sweet.
you were like talking about that, and I was just thinking, I can't be bothered with that.
Oh no, I don't roleplay that stuff either. I was joking with it. I didn't know if yous
Yeah,
were
but
into
it
that
was
though.
funny, and I could see how it would work. But at the same time, I was just
You
trying
know
to.
what?
I had my teacher mind on, like I had my name, not my name. I've just did that there. I
Yeah.
had my Nyla teaching cap on,
It's cause
and then
Melgrim made a joke. Well, no joke.
yeah,
To Melgrim it was real. It was cause I made a joke as Melgrim that I think that why that became canon in everybody's head.
I was going to ask about that. I mean, I don't know if I know you kind of like the idea of. Well, I don't know how you feel about that kind of thing in game. But yeah, I was kind of, and I need to ask Leon as well if he ever comes on one of these to find out exactly what's going down. But how do you feel about all that kind of mushy stuff when you're RPing?
Not for me.
No, not really.
I'm very much in a camp Travis with this one. It's like I'm not into it. I don't talk like that in real life, and I would find it very difficult to do in game. That's a part of the reason I always pick I don't always pick. That's why I pick like characters that are like completely out with that realm. Like no, even if I meet another lady turtle, that's not how their breeding cycle works. So it's fine.
Yeah.
With me, it just depends if it matches the story of what's going on. Like, but most of the time, I don't think I'd feel comfortable with it because I would not be able to get out the head that it's me and Richard getting each other our best lines. It's like,
I think it's even
I
riskier when
just
you're giving
always
yourself like
see
Mhm.
like some character, like in this case, I've always seen Gaz's character as like a young boy sort of thing. Like kind of, he doesn't
Leon,
know a
yeah,
lot of
that's
stuff.
great.
He sort of
He didn't even know what he was doing.
Yeah.
he what what's the
So,
word I'm looking for?
so what you're
innocent.
saying is,
It's like
So
a
what you're
little
trying to say, you're
like a
taking
little
this
brother.
You would
taking this
tarnish.
innocent boy, you're taking this innocent boy, and you're going to
Yeah, it's
teach
kind
him
of
the
like
ways of the
really
world.
innocent and she treats him like a little brother and trying to show him how to become
you're-
a monk and all this
So you're
stuff.
You're going
his
to teach him how
teacher.
to. I'm gonna,
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah,
I'm gonna make him a man.
A monk man.
a
A
monk
man
man.
monk. A man monk with man
I'll
fist.
make a man.
Now to you.
Did
Let's
anyone
get
else see
down to
and
business. Yeah.
Yes, we've seen Mulan.
oh,
Forgot
Rachel
that
might
one.
not
No, Rachel's told
I
us
have seen it once, I believe.
The animated, not the live action one. It's not as
There's
good.
a
I've never
less
seen
good
that.
one
No.
with no talking dragon.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Tell your dog exactly. Papa.
But with me, I feel like it'd be very awkward. I don't mind playing a character that is flirtatious, but it'd just be like jokey. It would never be serious, and I think it's like as soon as it's like, well, we're going to fade to black, it's like, no, I run away.
I tried that once with Lee. He doesn't get on well with that at
Aye.
all.
It's
I don't like it in real life, let alone gonna do it in RP. It's
I don't know.
not for me.
It's
Not
I
for
don't
me.
get it in real life, so I might as well get my
it's
kicks from somewhere.
it's nae knock to people that want to do that in it. Like, as in, I know that there's loads of people that love playing these games where it's just a wee family life. They're RPing and that, and it's just helping with the town, doing that kind of stuff. I know there's people that do that, and there's books based off it, and they're supposedly really good. It's just no my cup of tea.
There is TTRPG games that are built solely around that as well. Because I've seen them. They pop up on Roll20, and I'm like, that's not for me. But I've seen them. But like, so people must like that must be their thing. I want to do like all the kind of relationship stuff between like kind of fantastical creatures and elven whatevers, and whatever they go and fall in love with a troll and then they RP all that shit. I'm like, I cannot imagine
Yeah, I
anything more
would find
cringy
that
and terrifying
uncomfortable.
than being involved in that.
Yeah,
But
I
good
don't
luck to
know. I
them.
mean, if it was, I'd maybe play if it was something like Doki Doki Literature Club.
You've just made
where,
up words on it.
where it's the betrayal at the end.
That's a oh, bless me. That is
Understatement.
that's some heavy shit. Aye, that's a heavy game. It's really good though. It's just the way it
I
takes you.
I have not played it, but I have had it heavily spoiled by everyone talking about it when it first came out. So
Wow.
therefore, I'm like, I have lost the purity of it. See if they just turned around. See if I was just told that it's a dating game, but it's not really a
Yeah,
dating game,
and-
and that is it. And it's like I'm not spoiling it. I would be fine. Like that's how I was told about Undertale. Like it's sort of like a turn-based RPG, but it's not. So then it would be like basically I wasn't spoiled.
I get that. It's one of those. It's a fantastic game if you can get around to playing it. Like, but yeah, I get people's interest in the idea of romance and stuff with the kind of romanceable options and that. Even in RPG games, even in your video games and that, you get that kind of action.
Oh, I did video
Yeah,
games
hold
all the
on.
time.
See if I got like a feat for romancing someone, then maybe I'd be more involved. Like, wait a minute, if I romance this person and I get like a special feat, then you're like, oh, absolutely,
All
okay.
right. So
Hello,
this is what you're
darling. How
saying
are
is
you? Here is a gift.
that is how easy you are in game. Okay, I'll remember this.
Yeah, if you like, you say, by the way, if you do this, you're gonna get +2 to your intelligence. Like, okay, time for some kissy faces.
It's like, well, like oh, I'm trying to remember the names of the games. The ones that did Knights of the Old Republic, all the kind of games.
BioWare.
BioWare.
BioWare, thank you. My
Okay.
brain just went off for a few seconds. You actually did get like bonuses for being friends with everyone and having like relationships with characters. So why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah. I think
It's
Fable
like
did
you
the
give me a
same.
reward, yeah.
Yeah. Fable, I always did it near the end. It didn't ever bother me.
I loved Fable. Such a
Oh my
good
god.
game.
Rachel has an opinion on something we're talking about and she's not glazed over. Okay.
Which?
Fable.
Which one's your favourite?
First one.
I prefer 2 up until the end, but 1 is the better
Oh,
complete
God,
game. 2's ending was awful. But like, as
Was
in,
it? I never got to the ending of 2 because I didn't like it as much as the first one. It kind of made me go, oh, I don't really want to play it.
you
The ending was, but you're right, the ending was bullshit in 2 because that's when it makes you choose between bringing your dog back, or having your dog, or like
But killing
bringing
everybody.
everyone else back, or money.
No, wait, I
It's
do
like, well,
remember that.
money's worthless in Fable because you can just like own
I,
all the
by
houses.
that
so
by
it
that
means
time
nothing.
I'm a landlord that has millions.
And the game gave you money even when you weren't playing it. So when you keep that seemed like a bug to me that they
It
just
was.
pretended it was a feature.
It was never meant to be. It was just like it was some feature that they thought was,
Uh.
oh, that's a great idea, but then it was like exploitable. I think they nerfed it out of other editions.
It wasn't in the third one, I know that, but yeah, it's ridiculous because you were just like
I
a
love.
multi-player. Sorry, Rach.
I just loved when you could do the jobs when you cut the wood and you could pour the pints and you could.
That's 2.
That is too.
Is that the
That's
second
great.
one?
Three as
Right.
well.
Okay,
Three's
that
got
second
stuff
one's
like that as
my
well.
favorite then.
I hated the ending because of the shoot. Like I felt like I was caught blocked out of my final boss fight with that. It was
Yeah,
very
yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
I think that if you could have done that in that cutscene and it would have been a valid way to finish it, that'd have
Oh,
been great.
spoilers. Spoilers, by the way, for anyone who hasn't played Fable or Fable 2.
Yeah, fuck
Right.
you if you're not
I
playing
I
Fable.
think it
apologise.
might have
It's an
been.
old game by now, so it's unused, to be fair.
I
Yeah,
probably
but
played
this
it
was
about
a good
14
great
years
feel
ago,
for that.
so
Aye.
I can't remember it fully, but
Ah.
I really enjoyed it.
But if you do not
Because there's a
shoot,
third one, isn't there?
There
yeah,
is. I like the third
There
one.
is.
third one's all right. It
Yeah.
was it
The
was
third one's
disliked.
the one I wasn't bothered about.
Stephen Molyneux is famous on the internet
Yeah,
for
Peter
making
Molyneux,
large
fuck 'em.
promises that never grew.
I
Like
would
3
say the
was
third
good,
one is
but he
technically the
promised
best
us the
game.
world.
Yeah.
The third one is a good game, but he done what he always done, which was like, yeah, he promised all these great things and he kind of half implemented them, and you're like, oh, this is cool, but it would be much cooler if you'd done all this stuff as well.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I like that. I like them all, though. I'm easy to please. I'm really looking forward to Fable on the next gen console as well. If it ever
I
gets
don't
fucking
think we're
ready.
getting
Oh,
another
the
Fable.
remake.
Mechanic
No,
due to
there's
licensing issues.
Oh
Oh, the
fuck!
fucking inside.
I heard about that actually. Aye.
It's I think it's cause like BioWare, it's like they got bought, but like it's some weird thing with it. I remember it. It's like oh, it was it was some YouTuber that I was watching, Guru Larry, I think it was, that maybe was talking about it. Seems like something he'd talk about because Stephen Molyneux. There was
So,
something to do with the copyright. Yeah, like I know Molyneux wants to, and he owns the rights to some parts of it, and I think BioWare owns parts to the other, and some about acquisitions and all that crap.
Right, they
General.
were talking about this as early as like this year.
yeah, because
Maybe they sorted it. I'm talking about something that was happening 5 years ago because we haven't had one
Oh
in a
no,
long
this
time.
was re-announced because I shared this.
No, there was a
review quite
trailer.
while ago.
Yeah, there was a trailer with who'd you call him? Stephen Fry, I think, narrating over it.
Like
I
Stephen
remember
Fry
the one you talked
is
about.
I can't remember the character's name in it, but he's like immortal in it, and
He's
the best character ever.
oh, yeah, Saber or something like that.
Aye.
It's like a gun name, I think.
He's the bad guy. It's like that's what he
So,
plays.
But aye, like so. With that, yeah, it was kind of weird. Well, I'm actually interested to see where you
Reaver.
go from
There
here.
you go, Reaver.
I'm genuinely interested to see where you go from here.
Oh yeah, forgot about this. We're talking about the game,
In
aren't we?
Folorium, yeah. Because, like I say, I don't know where the fuckies are going.
I kind of think it would be fun to do the ship up and then maybe go somewhere on the ship. But last time we were on the ship, disasters were happening left, right, and centre. So I don't know if that would be a good idea.
With me, I'm thinking repair the ship and solve this crime. Sorry, these
Oh
changelings
yeah.
that are around town.
Obviously, I think we should do this.
And
Yes.
then I really feel like we are long overdue getting Ralph's eggs.
Yes.
Like, we
They have
really need
hatched,
to.
They have grew up. We're gonna meet them. They're
They're
all
gonna
gonna
be
be working
Toros,
on
and
the
they'll be like,
ship, being
"Why
like,
did you abandon
"What?"
us?"
Funnily enough, I think the only stories we haven't touched on, well, no, we have touched on all the stories now. But I don't think anyone we haven't really gone forward with is Sir Janice and Ralph's. To be fair, Melgrim as well. We've kind of touched on yours, but like I say, there's no major things in yours. So
Yeah. Mine happened like last week,
Anyways,
literally.
I'll tell you my major concern moving forward is that I don't know what we're going to do with not Ralph. I'm Ralph. What we're going to do with Melgrim when we take him to the Empire. I was like, I don't want to meet. I don't want to go to the Empire to
this
go into the
is
ship.
going to be interesting.
He's openly said he's going to shop us to the
Yeah.
secret police. I'm like, that's a real issue.
All I'm going to take you to is to hand in your guns at the airport. Sorry, at the port. So then you can't
Right.
go and shoot an orphanage. You'll still be allowed to have a handgun on you, and then you get to walk around the Empire.
Right. However, you've also accused me of necromancy openly. And I was like, you specifically said.
But remember, you asked him way the truth, and he says that the Empire doesn't actually bother that much about necromancy. This is a Melgrim problem.
Oh, Sally's in
Melgrim,
chat, as is Jim.
Melgrim doesn't know that I'm a changeling, correct?
Well, I don't know because I have not seen the stream from last week yet. Because I've been ill, I have been planning.
Sally
only
definitely found
those
out because I
you
was
told
with.
her, as did Ronan.
Yeah, because she was with
Said
me.
words.
Yeah.
Only those who speak Elvish at the time
And I don't
would
speak
have
Elvish.
heard.
Yeah.
And interestingly enough, Sir Janice de Grande also knows. He doesn't speak
Yeah, because of the
Elvish, but
spell he did.
he had
Yeah.
the spell up at the time, which was quite clutch.
Yeah, I did my changeling thing and changed into a little girl to try and persuade Daphne not to leave, and didn't work.
Because that calmed her down. Whoa.
Yeah, just made things worse.
What, I can become
Because my
anything.
deception rolls are horrendous.
The fact that she was going to try and change into Nim, but I'll need to remind you exactly how I'll need to remind you the rules of exactly how the changeling kind of works. So you'll need to
Basically, I
remind me.
can just I can change into them, but I don't get any of the abilities or anything. I just look like them.
It's more about what you can change into. It's I'll need to get back to you on that as well because we have mentioned it before, but it's
I
only really
think
come
it's
up
what
now.
someone you've
Yeah.
seen. You have to have at least seen them.
Depends what Richard says overall, but I mean that's the specific mechanics are similar.
That's
you can
the-
do like roughly within
yeah.
your own height and shape, but like they might be within reason. Like,
Yeah.
can you turn into a baby? That doesn't seem right.
Well, that's the specifics, but I'll get back to you on that because I think we have mentioned it before, Rach. But I'll speak to you about it.
I think it
Again,
works like Ginyu.
private.
She technically has the powers, she just can't access them because she doesn't know how to.
I can say no. That's definitely not like that. There's ways about how you
I
go and
can
change
turn
your
into
form.
a baby.
Yeah, it's automatic polymorph. You can just turn into anything you want all the time. I was like, this is
No,
fantastic.
that's what changelings can't. But I think it's just their appearance with changelings. They don't gain any stat boosts in that.
Yeah,
It's a very
Yeah, that's what I was
powerful
saying.
skill.
You don't get anything, which is why I was human because dark vision would be a huge one. Like everyone straight away would be like, "Why don't you have dark vision then?" Because
Yeah.
of a lot of things have dark vision. And then the special abilities, I'll be like, I haven't got that.
Yeah, but it's like I say, I wanted to make sure it was. Yeah, I'll let you go, changeling. I'm going to change everything about this, so because
be
it's
fair,
not
it's-
Yeah,
exactly
just
it
ignore
can't
me.
be as cool as you want it to be. So
No,
So-
it doesn't. I like it the way it's going.
It's also good to change the changelings from how they are in the manual as well, because it's like it's one of those most popularly banned classes in the D&D books.
the races,
I
yeah.
would wonder if you could change into like a Luxon. a Loxodon. What are they called? What's the elephant people called?
Loxodon.
Loxodon. Thank you.
Yeah.
Like
You
'cause
don't
they're
get any of their
really
abilities
big.
or anything, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
you
it'd
can.
be
That's the
weird to have
thing.
a
You
big,
just
big weird nose that didn't work. You know,
Oh,
like all kinds of weirdness.
It does let you
Slim.
bypass a lot of things. Like you could
Mm-hmm.
literally just like disguise yourself as a guard and walk about town at night. And
Oh
stuff.
yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
if you had the guard armor, because you
Mhm.
can't change your clothes. So
You just
issues.
change your whole look.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If
Actually,
you're getting
no,
changed,
that
if
that
you
would be
change
disguise
crimes,
self, wouldn't
and
it?
then you'd be like, haha,
Yeah,
you know, they're looking for an orc, and now I'm a dwarf or whatever. You know, that'd be
yeah.
pretty useful.
That's why I was saying the whole time we were playing the game, I'm like, guys, it can look like anybody. Like, this is gonna be hard.
Mm. I think we should just burn the island to the ground. I should solve that problem.
To
Yeah, we
burn the
should.
island of Acus, the only place where they actually have natural land and soil to be able to grow crops and food.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Destroy it all.
I know, right?
There's
I will
fish
point
in
out
my
we could like if we just leave the changelings to murder everyone, and then we just kill the changelings that are there. We technically have the land with the food. we become multi-millionaires overnight.
This is always one of these questions that's hard. It's like, how many people live in a coast, right? He has to kill one person a day. Like, okay, how many people live in this island? Is it tens of thousands? Is
nowhere
it
near
a
that.
million?
No,
Whatever
it's
guess
nowhere
it's in the-
near tens. It's nowhere near tens of thousands.
I'm
You're
guessing
lucky
in the
if you're coming
hundreds.
up to the
So
thousands.
if there's, so let's say there's 10 changelings. How many people? Because you've not had to murder anyone. You've not had to eat anyone, have you, Rachel?
That's a good question, Rachel. Have you had to eat anybody?
Ralph's not asking
Yes.
this. Lee's asking this.
Yes.
Has that been during fights? Have you been like,
Basically, can I tell them or no?
That is totally up to yourself if you want.
Because
Like you say, I
this
would
this is
imagine you will have
actually
sat down. I would imagine you will have had to sit down eventually and explain some
yeah,
things.
because this bit's
So
what
it's up
really
to you.
stressed me
You
out
can
at
either
the
do it on the
beginning.
next game. You could actually sit and talk to this to them during the stream in the game, or you
It'd
can
be
do it
better
now.
at
It's not a
in-game.
problem.
In-game in character. Oh, don't
do it now. Do it. Don't even
Does it
listen
be
to it.
I want to
interesting?
say
Well,
it now because I've just talked about it, but
yeah.
obviously
It's up
It's
to
a
you.
good
Like I
RP
say.
we'll
moment
do
for
it
you.
in
It's totally up
Yeah,
to you,
we can
Rach.
do this right now if you want. I can pretend that you are doing this around the campfire.
Can we do it right now?
Yeah,
It's your
yeah.
guys'
Like I
call.
say, it's your call. It is your call. Like I say, it's not much on the lore, but like I say, it's just a little bit of added flavour added because I
We'll
like
just
the
do it
idea.
as our characters right now.
Mhm.
Now,
It'll take a
let me ask
few
you a question.
seconds.
Oh, you assume that Ralph has survived his his sneak attack.
Yeah, let's get back. Ralph?
Yeah, I'm
Hello?
finally
I
awake.
am
Right
dying
now.
Well, that's not how
on the
this works.
ground.
Hold on,
That is not how this works.
Love you, thank you very much.
None of any interactions in this is canon, by the way. just you can.
Just Melgrim in the corner going there.
Oh yeah,
I
okay.
wish I spoke Elvish, because you keep talking Elvish to him and it's pure leaving mute the conversation.
Pure shit, aye.
You did speak Elvish.
I like to
speak
think
Elvish.
that your
Actually,
mom
I
Melbourne
will.
doesn't
I
speak
will
Elvish.
tell you one thing because this is probably something that Nana wouldn't say. Just because, like the very first feed I did, do you know where Sir Janice went and nearly died? Yeah, that was me. I sucked the life out of him
I don't even remember that at all. When was that?
because obviously what had happened is been in the cage for ages, so I hadn't fed because obviously I don't eat like food.
Mhm.
And yeah, I basically sucked the life out of him. And Richard was like, "Wait, why do you do that?" And I'm like, "I don't know them."
No, it's just,
Wait
I was
a
like, "She doesn't
minute.
care."
yeah, because she literally messaged says, "You sure you want to do this?" Yes. You sure you want to do this? Yeah, I don't know them for Tom and Dick and Harry. This is I've just met them. That is a good point.
You
Okay.
don't even remember this happening. What episode was this? When did he nearly die?
It
This
was the
when
first
you were
episode
captured.
that we started the stream.
Yeah, that's when you were captured.
Yeah.
See, remember when you were up on the kind of the wooden mechanical spiders and you were in the
I think I
cages,
do have
Aye.
and then you woke
vague
up and
recollection of
you
this, yeah.
seen St. Janice de Grande.
That's right.
Oh,
We touched the. Was that what did we? Assume it was the flying floaty things.
It's when we
You
had
did.
when we touched that furry thing that was flying.
you can tell him a wee bit.
Yeah.
You can also
And then
tell
she
him a little
snuck
bit
over,
more if
stuck
you
the
wish.
knife out of it, straight back, and we never noticed.
You can tell him a little
Oh
bit
no,
more if you wish as well.
I don't
'cause
attack them. I just like suck the life out of them.
So anytime we
Um,
see Nell like this, we should be like, oh shit!
But
She's-
I've been so lucky that my stealth is insane that none of you have obviously ever picked up on it because it's always been at night time.
It's been outside with passive perception and stuff like that
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah,
Because I
every
rolled,
time.
Considering
I
She
rolled
came
in that
close.
one.
She came close once. And
Yes.
she came close once, and I went, right, we'll take that into account. But there was a conversation happening, and I thought, yeah, they're not going to notice her too. But I was watching the conversation between two of you, and I was going, aye, they're fine. You're fine. Don't worry.
Yeah.
You're
I
going to
like
pass
the
this.
idea that let's say it was me and Mel going to be like, fuck you, man. No, fuck you. And then just in the background, you just see Nyla walk back. And
Well,
then
that was
that's-
you, Ralph. That was you.
Well-
Why did you do that to that
Just-
poor guy?
Well, I was going to say,
Just this full
Rach, if you
screaming.
want, you can tell them a little bit more about your feeding habits. It's fine because they probably know now in
Oh,
regards
Meldrum
to.
wouldn't. I'm guessing she's keeping it for him after what he said. You
Oh,
can
yeah,
talk
yeah,
about it,
but
but I
like-
am assuming.
Yeah, you can certainly talk
We've not
about it.
said
I
to
mean,
Malcolm.
like to say, I mean, I spent a lot of time coming up with this, and I thought, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's been something I was really stressed about, obviously, because I was like, oh my God, they're going to find out, but I don't want them to find out this early because I'm like usually, so I was kind of like, oh my God. But one of the biggest things was, and always made me laugh because you guys didn't really question it once, was whenever you woke up with exhaustion, you never questioned it ever. And basically, I'd fed off one of you. Not fully, so I obviously didn't kill you, but I'd fed off you enough to survive like what was it, a few days or something?
Yeah,
And you
once
guys
every day if you're
got
doing
an
it like that.
exhaustion point from me.
I-
But you never questioned why you got the exhaustion point, you just took it.
I will be honest. I thought it was a DM call. Because we were
Hmm.
having emotional moments, and I thought it was like I was sitting thinking that, well, that's quite smart. Richards kind of went that we have had a stressful conversation, thus we have not had a good sleep.
Nope, it was
that was
just
what
me.
I put it as, but no, it was you feeding.
Yeah.
Although I
I
will
also
point out, you
fed
probably
on others more.
if you ever get to convince Melgrim that you're not evil with it, he's the best person to feed off because I have the highest HP.
Yeah.
That's not how it works.
Aye, yeah, 'cause
Actually,
Yeah,
Yeah,
it doesn't
yeah,
affect your HP, just your
Tiredness.
see,
because basically you just don't really get full
Yeah.
sleep because it exhausts your sort of soul, it sucks out of you.
coming off of there was I got the idea. I got a lot of ideas for messing about with this by the exhaustion the exhaustion points, because you can have up to like I think it's 5 or 6 before you die.
I think it's
Because
like
every time you take a point of
I've never
exhaustion,
known
yeah.
you gone
If you ever
past 2.
if you ever take a point of exhaustion, bum, and there was I got the idea from that that game that we all watch online. You know, I love that game that everyone plays.
Yeah, mutant.
You know
yeah.
Mutant. Yeah, I got the idea from that, from a particular weapon that was I can't remember what it was. I think they got it from
Oh, is that the one that
Valdrin.
Sam used?
the one that they got off of Valdrin, which was the you can pump in a couple of exhaustion points to do extra stuff.
I will point out though, like I've no seen this to know, but I have read the exhaustion rules, and I'm sitting there like,
Yeah.
I do not ever hear anyone ever discussing exhaustion coming up in a game. Like it probably happened a lot in the older games, but like now it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's just like I go for
Yeah.
a nap
Oh, no,
in the
no, it wasn't
middle of this
exhaustion.
mansion that is
It wasn't
haunted.
exhaustion points. It was hit dice. The way you could pump hit dice into this weapon, and you could use the extra damage. And I like the idea of the mechanic of using hit dice, because what's stopping you just from doing a short rest and pumping all of your level hit dice
Aye.
into that and say, right, I'm fully healed. I get the mechanics behind it, but there's got to be a trade off where there's going to be sitting there with exhaustion points. If they get through this battle, they can just sit down for a couple hours and use as many as they want. So I was going, how can I get rid of these hit dice? And it was a case of, right, if she's for the purposes of the changeling, they have to feed every day if they
Yeah.
decide not to kill. So if they do this, they take a few hit points, exhaustion, some of the hit dice away, which will lead to exhaustion, and so on and so forth. If they want to fully kill them, they take all their their hit dice basically.
Yeah.
That was it. I just like the idea of fucking about with hit dice because why the fuck not? It's there. It's a mechanic that's barely used, and
Yeah.
they're going well. And that the only reason I got that was the idea because I seen Mercer use this weapon where you can pump hit dice into it to expend hit dice from that day to do what you need to do. And I fucking loved the idea. I was like, you know what? I'm doing this.
It's definitely a very forgotten rule. Because, like,
Aye.
because I remember seeing the exhaustion, I was like, this stuff's like deadly. Like, say when you
Yeah.
get into
Yeah, it
higher
can be.
levels, like, it's like the 1 point is bad, but say, I'm pretty
Mm.
sure like was it 3 points exhaustion, where it's like all your stats are basically in the negative in that you're disadvantaged in every roll, and
I think you die at a level. It's just level 5
Level
or 6, but
6,
by the time it gets
yeah.
to level 4,
Aye.
you are fucked. Like you cannot
Aye.
Is
walk,
it-
you cannot do anything. You're dumb as shit. You can't hit anyone.
I think the
even
first
if you hit.
one is saving rolls.
Saving
You
rolls
get
disadvantage.
disadvantaged.
Aye.
Then
It's not
second
too bad.
is your skill. Is it skill?
Skills, yeah.
Aye, skills.
Yeah, your skill rolls
Then
are
I
at a
think third is
disadvantage,
your
and then it
stats.
goes. Yeah,
Yeah,
And then I'm pretty
I
sure.
know
No,
it's
in
a
fact, I think third one's disadvantage on everything. Can't remember. I know
Yeah.
it's. I've not read the rules in a long time, and it's because we've never addressed them ones. They've completely left my
yeah.
mind.
It's never been something that
Yeah.
we've needed to.
Aye.
Yeah.
In
speed
fact,
half at level 2.
whilst we're all
Nice.
talking, I'll have a look, see if I can find the page.
No, it's
That's
alright.
right here.
I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, so up to 6 is
Speed
death.
reduced to
So
0 at level 5 of it, and it's 6 is death. But in level 2, your speed is halved. So that's a massive issue.
yeah,
Yeah.
disadvantage on
I'm-
attack rolls
Being
and
level
saving
3 is
throws at 3.
disadvantage. Yeah, there's a lot of problems doing
Yeah.
the disadvantage. That's the
Hit
thing,
point
so-
maximum is halved at 4.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, what a
yeah,
beautiful
like
this book is.
it's one of those things where you go, I'm going to use this more to my advantage, and it was a case of you're going to feed, you're going to exhaust, you're going to start to exhaust people because you're literally drawing the life essence out of them.
Oh.
But she's only at a certain age where she can only take certain times. Eventually, and she doesn't even know this, it will eventually get worse. We don't know when, but it
Yeah,
will.
that's why I
And then
asked
and the
the
mechanic.
characters to
Oh,
do that.
Kill her.
Oh well, the
Yeah.
mechanic I have in place is now that yous know, or some of yous know, I can start fucking about with this and start to progress the curse. So
That
Okay,
is
that's
a
the
that
new
is a
person
thing.
you should find out.
That is
Yeah.
gonna happen. Is I'm gonna
it would
try
eventually
and
progress. It would have took longer to progress, depending on how long she had it. But eventually, it would have got worse.
Well, when I
Now,
get true
Yeah.
I have-
polymorph, I'll just turn you into a person. Just like, there you go, you're a person, I don't have to worry about that anymore. That's how it works, that's how curses work. You can just
Yeah,
easily
that's how
defeat them.
curses
with
work.
magic.
Yeah, just that's exactly how they work. You know,
I
'cause
mean,
why you can do that while I can
with
throw you, right?
feeding, with eating and drinking and that, I was so
Maybe
glad we're
like
in the forest because it wasn't like, oh, let's go to a tavern and we're gonna eat loads and drink loads of stuff. Because I would have been like, oh shit.
Oh, it's going to come up though, isn't it? You're like,
Yeah.
this food is great. Yum,
Excuse
yum,
me.
yum.
She literally did that at Ronin's mother's.
Yeah. Yeah,
She
I
had
did.
to do that, and none of you noticed, bar the mother.
Yeah. That was because of my nat one, wasn't it?
Yeah, because none of you questioned it. None of you. Another thing, none of you questioned. They offered you food, and none of you checked it. Oh well, it's not something you would ask. Is she eating her food? No. Why would you
Why
ask
would
that?
you?
Exactly.
I mean,
So it's a case
basically,
of
we're all sitting in the room watching
Yeah.
her, but like just because none of
I'm
us
sh-
specified. That was
Well,
the
this
Yeah,
is
same
I'm
it.
sure
reason
it
I
like
am.
It normally goes by
once
your
or twice I
passes.
said like specifically said I don't want to eat the food.
Yeah.
I will also point out that none of us have ate in a while, so there was an arguable excuse why none of us would have
That
noticed.
is yeah.
Like if we were
Mhm.
all sitting around the campfire and that, were passive perceptions might have kicked in, but like we hadn't ate food in a long time.
It's also, suspension of disbelief. That is things that you would notice in game, but it's much more fun to reveal them later on as opposed to like, pretty fucking weird you're not doing that.
Aye.
I
It's
mean, I
also
also
when we were in the forest and you were saying like, "What's your morning routine?" and that I'm thinking, "Shit, well I don't eat.
Well,
I
I
haven't
can also
slept because I don't need to sleep."
actually saying that there is stuff I can actually mention now as well. Even during through a lot of the stuff we were talking about when you were traveling to that point, I did mention to those who had some of the higher passive perceptions. It says that's a bit funny. As in, I think I did that with you, Lee. Actually, says
Possibly.
That's a bit strange. Nyla doing that. It was just a case of
Yeah.
because she was bang on because you rolled bang on the passive perception rate
Mhm.
for your stealth rate, and it was a case of
Yeah.
a message folk who had that passive perception. Huh, it's weird that she did that. And just
Yeah.
it just likes the kind of hunts like that as opposed to straight up telling them, "Oh, I blah 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 blah." And I was just, that's a
Yeah.
bit weird, just to see how they
Why did she
react.
do that?
Yeah, why would she do that? Just to give them that idea of the inner monologue. Think, why would she do that?
Now, at level 15, monks get a thing called
You assume you're
Timeless
gonna live.
Body.
You
Yeah,
assume
what?
you're
you're
gonna live.
assuming
They
she's
give you
going
a
to get
drink.
to level 15. We don't know how long this curse takes. Maybe it's another year she's go.
I'm pretty sure that'd be a pretty easy way to get out of the curse if she could just punch enough people. If I punch enough people, I hit level 15, and they're like, now
If
I
I-
don't need to consume. I had to kill 1,000,000 people with my bare hands. However,
Pretty sure that
no one will
vampire
to
doesn't work. Yeah, pretty sure that if I eat enough people, if I drain them enough blood, I'll be okay.
Be much
But,
funnier.
no.
Here's how
Yeah,
it
let's
serves.
say I love the fact that I get to do all this stupid lore shit with you, and you have no idea. As
I feel like
Scott said, it says
I
it's.
feel like I felt that through the screen.
I'll wipe my face here. I get to do that, throw curveballs at you all the time because it's literally homebrew. It's
That's
Like,
the
'cause,
fantastic
best
for
thing
that
like,
about
reason.
doing D&D. It's like, oh,
if
this is
we
real. No,
if
it's
we
not.
were playing in a D&D and she was a changeling, it'd be different things that would be it would be bringing up and would maybe catch on. Like the most we'd catch on it is some foley in us. Like that's probably as far as we would. Like if this was kept quiet for longer and that you were like you wake up with a point of exhaustion, it's like I got a full night's rest and this was in a bed and an inn.
Yeah.
This is starting to get weird. We'd maybe think someone's hunting us. We wouldn't think a player
Probably
is
more
hunting
like I
us.
think it was the spirit of Jim's wife that he clearly killed. That was that
Taking
was
a
following his.
revenge on all
Okay.
these insults.
Thanks for reminding me of that. I'm going to ask a question. What the fuck went through your mind, Lee, when you decided to do Zone of Truth, to do all of that, just to come up with that? You can't,
That was my
cannot
favourite
tell me
thing,
that
by the
was a
way.
last. You cannot tell me that was a last minute thing. Just go, yeah, let's do this. There was no way that was off the cuff.
Right. I spend an inordinate amount of time when I'm doing other things thinking about these games. It's the way I quell the voices in my head that tell me to kill everyone. So you know, that's what I do. I feel focus on that. So I'll come up with like 1,000 different ideas, and then most of them you kind of forget or they get pushed back or they get jumbled up. And in that moment, that one came back to me. I was like, oh, that'd be quite funny. And the questions I came out with, they seemed well thought out, but like I don't remember like thinking about it. But I guess I mean like, well, I'll just do this. It also seemed like a good way to put people on the spot and make them tell me things because everyone in this company has been so fucking secretive. I've not,
Yes.
right? I've always been like, hey, I want to go and get the eggs. Let's go and get the eggs. And everyone's like, oh, my shadowy backstory is so interesting, but I won't tell you. Like, yes, you fucking will. Know the truth, bitch.
Mate, you caught me off guard. I mean,
Yeah.
that's why I went, oh, this is
But
my favourite episode ever.
But that also helps everybody that is doing their dark brooding backstory because they won't tell people it, but now they have the reason to tell it.
Now they're compelled.
Aye.
Well, that's what. To be fair, like what everyone forgot was that you can just say "fuck you," I'm not telling you anything, and walk. But everyone's like, "Oh, the spell is compelling me." It's like you can just leave. Nope, no one left. Brilliant.
Yeah, I
Um,
know. I was just like, it's the perfect time to sort of do my character, but
it gave people the opportunity to talk about stuff they clearly wanted to talk about as well.
It was the fact of the questions, because I was more worried. I was actually more worried for Nyla at the point because it was a case of the question was, yeah, we're going to check to see if everyone's a changeling, and it was a case of that was my bit. I was going, oh, she needs to pass this.
I will be honest. By that point,
I
I
know
knew she
I got on that
was.
one on that as well.
Yeah,
By that point, I knew she was, and I was just sitting there like, "This is gonna be funny if she how she squirms out of this if she does."
to be
It was
fair, I
smart.
think
Yes,
all of
and
us,
Elvis, very clever.
yeah,
Yeah.
very very clever. Actually, I was very good. I was going to
That was one
say,
where
I
I
mean,
thought, how can I only tell some people? And I was like,
yeah,
not everyone speaks the same language. I don't have to specifically say it in common.
yes, exactly.
Mm.
Cards on the table, though. I think we all, well, I think you all knew anyway because this was
Yeah.
mentioned right at the start.
Yeah,
of
it
the
was the
stream.
thing that I
Yeah.
accidentally said out
Way
loud.
back when.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I was
that
like,
was-
"Oh, I'll be a changeling," and that was like, "Oh, this is a great idea," but now everyone knows.
In fairness, I know, well, me and Scott obviously knew, but I thought I'm not going to mention it at all and see if anyone else has remembered this. Not because I mean, there's a lot of stuff happening. You know, you
Yeah,
don't
no,
always
Yeah,
it's-
remember.
Sally did
We
have
forgot a
mission
lot of stuff.
completely forgotten.
And also see how the hints of you being a changeling feeding off us. Changelings don't feed off us in D&D, so that curveball
Yeah.
was, like I said
Yeah, yeah.
before, I would have never put that two and two together. If you were
Yeah.
a changeling, it's like, oh, you're a changeling.
Yeah, if you hadn't
whatever.
said that, I'd have
who's-
thought you were some kind of vampire or something, like some kind of weird.
Yeah, but your characters don't know how I feed though. You guys do, obviously now, but in the thing you
Oh, yeah.
don't. So you
Well,
could
the
still
characters
we
know
could
now
still
because they've
do
got that
something
old one
cool
that
with
keeps
this.
I
draining
can't
people.
imagine she's fine telling Melgrim after his lore of history, saying that they go mad and start killing people and stuff like that. It's not.
I
Yeah, 'cause-
think
yeah, 'cause
you started
Melgrim-
talking to Gaz, and then you started talking how bad changelings were lying and all that shit, and I thought, fuck, I've got to do something.
Yeah, because Melgrim is a
Like, I cannot
notoriously
tell you to.
well-adjusted person who is very calm.
Yeah,
about these
very
kinds of
calm and
things.
reasonable. I understand. He understands that people come from different points of view and have different cultures and different beliefs and different things, and sometimes he might not be right.
It was just that I was just sitting there going, do not tell them. Whatever you do. Because that was the reason she hid it, is because she was so terrified people would not accept her, because she's basically, people will think she's evil.
I'll say it just because it's in chat now. Mizamin say, I do not copy them wholesale from the Cthulhu mythos. I just take it as a sort of base for that very reason. I don't want people thinking, oh, it's
Yeah.
this. I describe things differently. I may make them behave in a different way from how they do in their stories, just so they don't know what it is. I think it's
Again, I did a Curse of Strahd game for back in the day with the likes of Scott and a couple other people, and because I knew one of the players had read the whole thing, I just changed everything about, man. That's all I did. This is they were
That's the
expecting a
best
mimic
way
at
to
some
do it.
point. They were expecting a mimic in this room. Nope, I changed it about. It says that's a mimic. That can be anything, anywhere, and anywhere I want it to be. There you go.
And
And
the
the
whole
player,
way through the game, their sword was a mimic. And it's
no,
only
the player
last-
the player literally turned around and said that to me. Says, I was expecting it.
Hmm.
Didn't know it was there. Even the pitfall traps in the death house, I was like that. That should be there. This is, but no, we're gonna move this a bit closer, or I'm just gonna take it away at all and just put in a different trap, so that it's so folk don't realise. Because as good as the expansions and all the adventures are, everybody has access to the adventures. It's easy enough just to buy them up.
I'll also point out that when I was doing the Warhammer stuff off stream, the more updated books literally has a section called For the Grognards. And it is basically like if you've had somebody that's played this campaign before in a previous edition, do this instead.
Ah,
So
Especially-
that's
Yeah,
what.
it's part of being a DM as well, though, isn't it? I mean, like, you know that it's best to kind of just change stuff up a bit.
Aye.
Because there's always that person that reads all books.
Rules lawyers and stuff. I get
Yeah.
them.
thing
The
is,
good-
though, is if I was one of them people that like read through everything, like all of the campaigns and stuff, is I would forget it anyway.
I'm very much one of those players that do. Well, no players, because I'm a DM. I like reading
Yeah.
through stuff and getting the ideas. Whether or not I use them or not is another matter. Well, me and mates, he is kind of a rules lawyer when I think about it, but at the end of the day, I get why. However, he's immense is not the worst player I've played with out there, but it's a case of, yeah, this is what we should do. He knows what to do. He just goes, I can't, I wouldn't know this shit.
Hmm.
Like I said, I try to avoid it, but like as I said, I will know it in the back of my own head, and it is trying to avoid those things where it's like you don't get
It's hard.
that moment of your own realization of how to deal with it.
Mhm.
Because like if I know they're weak against fire and he's like going, oh, they're avoiding the flame, it's like fireball. That might not be how my brain would process that reaction.
Yeah.
But then
So
if I'm
it's-
I mean, you can also argue most things are weak against fire anyway. So it's like maybe.
oh yeah, I
X-rays
mean
is-
fireball. Yeah, fireball that fucker.
yeah,
It's like
and
you wanna
Germans are
do.
weak
also
against fire, aren't they? Well, not particularly, but also, holy fuck, I'm on fire!
I will also point out that once I was tempted to make a fireball based character, and it was all got to be about like casting fire spells, and I was going to take the feat that allowed your fire magic to hurt things that are immune to fire. Just so then I could go, because then it's obviously DM would throw me a fire enemy, and it's like, rules lawyer moment.
Without
Curse
having
my
this
only
bag,
weakness.
it says, in this universe, that feat doesn't exist. Ah, shit.
Yeah. Curse my only weakness. Bullets to the face. Yeah, I'll do it.
I was going to say, to
Well-
be fair, bullets is everyone's weakness in Call of Cthulhu. Well,
Yeah, true.
everyone
Sanity, well,
except for the keepers.
everything is everyone's weakness in Call of Cthulhu.
Mhm.
I was
I mean,
going to
the
say,
passage of time is fairly
so
terrible.
you genuinely think that I'll catch you later, me and say thanks for popping in at
Later,
least for as
dude.
well.
That's it.
So you genuinely think that Ronan's killed his girl?
Not really, no. But it seems to be. Oh, yeah, hold on. There's a lot to unpack from my mind here. But basically, his story to Ralph sounds like a storybook story because he has a sage. He's done lots and lots of reading, and his story
Fail.
is a creature came from the sea, took my lady love. I went
Yeah.
after her on a quest. He's like, well, that's awfully interesting because that sounds like the kind of thing I've read about, which you would have read about. So perhaps you got bonked in the head and you think that's what happened. Or what's more likely, based on all the things we've seen, is that you went, fucked her in the ocean.
Maybe
and then ran
someone's done
away.
modify memory
Um,
and changed his memory.
Maybe it's also Lee's job leading into his real mind. Who knows?
uh,
yeah.
This is true.
Melgrim was just being nasty to him, because he's been nasty to him for no reason. Because as I said early on, I've not said it in the stream. I've spoke to James, so he knows what I'm on about with it. A little bit of his old character kind of came in with Ronan, and his views of Melgrim sort of meshed, and I'm like, I tried to save his life several times, and he's calling me a bad guy. And I know what it
Yeah.
was. It was just
Yeah.
like, as in, because he switched characters, and we had that banter with the old character.
Pretty much dwarves.
Aye, exactly. It's like, so it was that was the mindset with it. But obviously that, and it was
Yeah.
just basically to Melgrim, who has threw himself headfirst into danger to protect others on a regular basis, to find someone who would run and hide when something is capturing his lady love. He does not think highly of Ronan for that. Like, he is a coward in Melgrim's eyes.
Yeah.
So it's like he's
Oh.
just nasty to him in general, because he's just like, oh, you ran and hid
Well,
when
you see, I
a monster came.
had to remember that Melgrim was good to my character. So, like,
Mhm.
when everyone else is complaining about him, I'm like, wait, no, I like Melgrim.
He's been
He
nothing but
saved me.
This is true.
aye,
It's
It's hard, yeah. Also, it's easy to Melgrim bash, you know. So
aye. It's also
everyone should be Melgrim Bash him.
also he's mean. Like he is mean to people all the time. So
Mhm.
He doesn't even have a penis.
I wasn't gonna bring that up. I mean,
I love how
Ralph also doesn't have a
everybody's
penis either, so.
I love how everybody's headcanon is it's because he's not got a penis that he's so mad at everyone.
I would be mad too, to be fair.
To be fair, he was
Let's
much
be
worse
honest.
when he had a penis. He was like way he's kind of
I should point out that before he lost his penis, his name was Mel Grin, and he was the happiest dwarf ever. That was friendly to everyone.
to be fair, you know when you usually
I
try
love it.
when dogs get fixed, it usually calms them down. So I would have thought I would have calmed Malcolm down a wee bit.
I'm hoping it calms my dog down. That's all I'm saying.
So,
Just bloody crazy.
Well, chopping off Melgrim's penis. I mean, okay, but I don't know why it would calm your
Yeah.
dog down. But okay.
I think we'll move on to the last question in Folorium before we go into other stuff and into the other games and other stuff as well. But yeah, so here's our dirt poor now. What are you going to do?
Oh, she
That
ran off
really
money,
pissed
didn't
me
she?
off. And then I had to remind myself after the game. I talked to my little brother. It's funny. And he
It's the
was
game.
And I was just like, and then I was talking to him, and I was like, wait, hang on a second. It's just money. It's just a game. And you said something might happen about getting something. I was like, I need to calm the fuck down.
I
I would also throw out there, we own a ship now, kind of. And
We
I
do
mean, there's
because
not
I
to
have
stop
the
us from
deeds
just
to
going
it.
to the docks and be like, hey, who wants us to take some shit over there? And then maybe pay us? Like, ships are valuable
Yeah.
commodities.
Yes,
I
very
have
much
the
so.
especially right
deeds.
now when they've not been able to transport anything for a while.
Yeah, I
Yes,
mean, like,
this is true. You
yeah,
have the
we're
deeds to the
pretty sure we
Excalibur.
could go and get some pirates
Yep,
and be like,
they're in
oh
me
no,
potters.
pirates! Fuck you, pirates! So, you know, we can. Like, there's things we can do. Like, we're pretty
Take note.
badass.
I'll take note of that. Yeah, is this
Um,
are we not gods moment?
It's not so much that we're not gods. It's like, can we defeat a normal pirate band with our magical abilities? Probably.
Yes, because
Um,
everything is normal in this world, right?
because it went so well the
Well,
last
is
time we
magic
fought
unusual
pirates.
or not? Right? It can't be both. It can't be incredibly rare,
you
but every
rem-
single pirate band has it.
Do you remember
not
what
wrong.
happened the last time we fought pirates?
No? Did we fight any pirates? Oh,
Yes.
yeah, yeah, but they were. I'm pretty sure we could have had them. To be fair,
We,
they only
we
got
could
us
have
because
we
had no
ended
spell
up in
slots
the
left.
Iron Oak Ocean for
Ah, so
Oh,
you're
ages.
yeah,
saying there is a
that
That was
weakness
a
to your
Leviathan
magic.
we fought. That was a
Yeah.
Leviathan. That wasn't pirates. We could
So
have had those
what?
pirates.
The
Yeah. So what you're
pirates were beforehand, and they destroyed all the crew and stuff. So we got that after the fight,
yeah. So what you're
technically.
saying is there is a weakness to your magical skills.
Yeah, well, mate, I didn't say let's go and hunt gigantic sea beasts. I said let's go and find pirates, and if they attack us, like, haha, fuck you.
And yeah, use all our magical spell slots. Yeah. Okay, I get you.
Oh, Jesus Christ, man! If you're going to punish us for going on an adventure, like, what's the point of the game anymore? Right? It's like, oh no, sorry, you can't do that. Like, all right, cool.
I didn't
So,
say that. I didn't say that. I
you're
am. I'm all
implying
for it.
We
I
could
am
just do
all
the
for it.
traveller rule and just gather stock as we're going from place to
that,
place.
literally the first thing I said was let's
Quite
just
right.
trade
No,
stuff.
exactly. He's quite right.
It's not like
And if we get
becoming
attacked,
traveller of the
cool,
game. I'm just
free
meaning like
ship.
I'm just meaning like when we're traveling from port to port, yeah, let's look around and see if anybody wants anything took to that port.
Anyone need any? Does
I-
anyone need to go with us? Okay, do you any passengers? You know, we can do. Okay,
Let's-
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will point
all the
out though,
passengers.
Richard did make it clear when we got that gold that there was something up with it and we weren't going to keep it.
Did-
He did say he was either going to give us a moral quandary or something was happening when he first gave us it. He
Yeah.
didn't give us a direct thing, but I knew that money had a
Yeah.
time
So
limit.
here's
I
the.
thought the
So
moral
here's.
quandary: are you going to take the money, or are you going to go and save these people? And we chose to take. Well, me and you didn't, but everyone else like,
Yeah.
let's
I did.
We're
Take
I
screwed
did.
for
Yes.
money.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Mhm.
so there's the thing. You're absolutely right. There was a moral quandary, and at the end of the day, so, yeah, you got to keep the money, and then you got a ship for free. And I had to nip that in the bud right away. So it says,
Mhm.
I don't know what I'm going to do with this money. They've now got a ship and all this money. It says
Mhm.
the whole point for the money was so they could buy the ship, and they didn't buy the ship. They just took it. So
See? That makes sense to me. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
well, there you go. Why would you do? Yeah, why? Because
yeah,
you can't have both. Like,
You
oh,
can't have both. Yeah.
oh, I
it's
want
just-
the magic
it's-
item, and I also want to murder the guy, so we don't have to pay him for the magic item. It's like,
Yeah.
If it
No.
makes
Give
you
the
feel
ship-
better,
I
Malcolm
was-
just needs enough money for food.
Reason being,
I was
I'll
just
give the
being,
ship
I was just
cheap.
being greedy, and because I love looting the game and money and stuff, I was like, I became me, and I was just like, no, I shouldn't do that.
Oh, it's
Like
all
my
in that
character is
moment,
not this
you smiled
person.
and became
That's just
Rachel
me coming
Like,
through my character being like,
Yeah, I
give
gave-
me
I
the
gave you the
fucking
ship.
money.
I gave you the ship cheap, right? So I gave it 15,000 gold because you had like 30 odd thousand, and then I gave you
yeah.
enough to fully stock it and repair it.
Yeah.
And then Sally just went, "Nope, I'm taking this." It was a case of, okay.
I was
I
very
just-
surprised by that reaction. I'm not
So-
gonna lie, I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, it was a really
I
good
was
moment.
basically egging her on at the
I'm
end.
glad
I'm
for
like,
the
do it, Sally, do it.
There was a lot of RP chops getting flung about at that moment. I'll tell you, mine and
It
Sally's, and I
was
was going,
a
"Oh, I'm all for
brave
that."
choice.
It was a hell
I
of a
thought it
moment.
was cool.
Yeah, I mean, it was badass. I mean, I liked it, and like, to be fair, I'd have been happy if the session had kind of just became us going off to the island, and then we got caught up in this weird kind of subplot with the. I was like, oh man, are we dealing with this? Because in my mind, I'm like, Ralph really wants to go and get these eggs, but now we kind of have to deal with this. But do we? Could we just be like,
Well, this is the thing. Do
"Good luck,
you?
Villains."
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you've got your own thing, right? I mean, you literally says you're now focused on getting your eggs.
It's
it's
not
like,
an
well-
easy task trying to catch a changeling, especially when you don't know
also-
what they look like.
There's
Mhm.
there's no actual reward to us doing this unless we find that they've got like a bunch of shit they've stolen, and then should we give it back to people? Also, who do we even tell? Like, who is the town's master? Who is like the person? Nobody's asked us to do this.
Well, funnily enough, it would probably be one of the mailing stuffs, as in you have passed his house to and from as you were walking to from the
Yes, we
quayside
have, yeah.
up to.
That's true. Very, very valid point. But it's like, I don't know, these rich assholes can deal with this themselves. Like, we didn't cause the problem. We just turned up and it was here. Off to the X.
Yeah. After that, yeah, quite. This is what
Ralph
I'm
was
wondering.
like, Ralph got stabbed last session, got knocked out. They could have killed him. They chose not to, because so he's just going to get up. I guess I'm going to
Yeah,
have to not
you could
murder
call
Dan.
that a warning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to be here chasing these fuckers. I'm going to take that warning. Yeah, you're totally within your right to
It
do
has
that.
occurred to me though, I can message that changeling because I know him.
Technically,
Technically, I know him. Doesn't matter what he looks like. That's not what the spells
yeah.
say. What he looks like.
Technically, you know him. It would be a wee bit harder because he could resist. There is a roll, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, you're right.
Like,
You could.
"Hey, you son of a bitch. You should have killed me when you had the chance. I'm gonna burn this world to the ground looking for you. Once I get these eggs, then I'll be back."
Yeah. Get the eggs first.
He finds the X, destroys them, and he's like, "Cute."
And your brother as well. Imagine not trusting your brother. What the fuck?
Yeah, I was
Mind you, you've got real life experience with that. So
Sorry? I like my brother.
do you?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I have a good relationship with my brother. What are you talking about?
I
I
might
was
be
gonna
talking with
say
someone
he
different.
likes it. Lee likes his brother.
Yeah, I might be thinking of someone different, totally different then. Okay.
Nickel Thomas, if you're watching this, love you, bro.
Apologise. Yeah, I mean, I don't know where I got that from.
He
There
goes
must be
and
someone who
sees.
doesn't like the brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yes, I've been to see him
I
recently.
love both my brothers just so they both know this.
But what I
I'm no
was
brothers.
thinking with him is, I could have done that actually. Oh man, see, as I thought, I was like, I could have just actually went into another room and be like, okay, I'm gonna contact my brother. I'm like, hey brother, are you on the island for real? And if it didn't go to that guy, I'm like, he's not my brother.
Well, that would have been a way to find out if he was a.
I didn't think he was a changeling though, did I? I just thought he was. He wasn't. I just thought he was up to something. What was happening with that though is because Sir Janice the Grande, the greatest bard in the world, was being all cagey. I'm like,
Thought that was weird.
I'll be honest. Out of character, I was straight up thinking that this fucker's selling the eggs. Like the minute I met him, I was just like, because we don't know what he said to that salesman and stuff like that. They beat him up. It might have just been that he was a bit to give us too much information. Maybe he was beating him up because he gave us any information in the first place.
True.
The thing is, ultimately, I don't think, as a DM myself, I wouldn't make a decision on that until I seen how the players reacted to him. And then I would make like you've got a little kind of path that you go down. It's like, do they trust this guy?
Yeah.
Yes, he is the
You've got
baddie. Do they trust him?
yeah.
No, he is the goodie.
You've got the DM head on, and that's pretty much how I run with that kind of thing as well. So it always keeps you on your toes. It just depends on your actions. It's like one of those adventure flip books. You go to page. You did this. Go to page 96. If you did this, go to page 62. This kind of thing.
I have to be honest. It's so when it's stuff like that, I've only once done it, and it was for a one shot, and that was purely because like you were like, this guy's definitely a bad guy. I'm like,
it was the Grand Vizier.
It was basically I gave him the voice of Jafar, and it was just going to be like a random character background, but they focused so much on him. I'm like,
the second they came over, like he's a baddie, I was like in kind of like Captain, Emperor,
welcome to DMing and GM 101. The guy, the obvious bad guy that you put out there, they turn around and they don't focus on him, but then they turn around and see this person. Oh, he's a family member. That's totally him. So you always need to keep on. That's why I've got to a point now.
It's a character that's like got no story or anything. It's just there.
Well, there's the thing. I've got
the dusty shelf.
Big bad.
It's definitely the baddie.
Yeah, I have a big bad. There's a lot of other bad guys in this world, or good guys, depending as I go. As Lee says, yep, bum, we path. If they do certain things, then yes, I'll add him in. If not, then I'll just put him to the side as a character. But I have a big bad. You haven't came across a big bad yet. I will turn around and tell you that. Although there is a load of clues alluding to him.
What I'll actually throw out there is that I'm actually more in Scott's camp in this one. With the characters I write for Mutant, they tend to just be like, they're not going to flip on a dime. however choices you make that affect them could
Yeah.
push them a different way.
That's pretty
Um,
much.
But that's what I'm like for adventure with Cthulhu. It's I kind of have it written what's happening without your interactions before it.
mm,
So yous could solve it like an hour quicker than I think you've got to solve it, and you solve it an hour before I think you've got to solve it.
I did
And
that
that's how I
with
do it.
I did that with Cthulhu as well. I say it's
Aye.
probably the only way to do it, if anything, because Cthulhu's
Aye.
not one of those things you can just improv like that quick.
mm,
Aye, it's because you're having to think this is like that is how I write it. I go with this is the end of the scene I would like.
mm.
And then it's like if they never interact with them, this is what will happen. And as it gets closer to that finish goal that they're doing, they make more mistakes. Like basically, it becomes more and more obvious where they are.
Mm.
Yeah, I think you took that from me actually, because I remember you telling you that when I ran Cthulhu for you. Says, yeah, there was a specific time limit on stuff, and this is what happens if you had certain actions that pushed the time limit further, and this is what would go down. So certain stuff you'd have done set off other events, and it just kept the way you played it, it just kept snowballing from there because
Aye.
it started getting quicker and quicker.
Mm.
Aye, I definitely think it's the better way to do Cthulhu. I know that a
Hell
lot
yeah.
of them will be like it's locations and the ones that start, but like I like the mystery element a lot in Cthulhu. Like I think that's a
Yeah.
It's the unknown, the fear of
Aye.
the unknown.
And I know a lot of the
Yeah.
adventures aren't that mystery based. Like some of them are. A lot of them are. Like it's an You're called investigators for a reason. But at the same
There's
time,
just-
I'm like some of them. It's like, yeah, some monster that's doing monster things.
There used to be a website years ago. They used to have folk from
Pornhub
all
still
around the
exists.
world. I genuinely can't remember the name of it, but I used to read it nearly every other night because it was DMs of GMs of Cthulhu putting up ideas for adventures and going
Oh, there is
investigations and go.
there's Miskatonic stuff, and then there's the Facebook and the Discord and all that.
There's a load now, yeah, but it was back before all
Aye,
that shit.
this was when it
going,
was
"Oh,
forums, I'm guessing.
yeah,
Because like
and
Cthulhu's always been like that third child of the top
there is
ones
a
DDRPGs.
But there is a particular one I remember most of because it was one of my favourites reading, and I was going, "That is actually a really good idea."
Oh,
and I
don't
like
it?
it.
Because you might run it at one point, and if you
Fuck
don't
yeah.
want to run it, game it.
Yeah. That's what I literally just what I was saying. I'll need to write it all out and add bits to it myself because I remember most of the plot points and this is what's happened. But yeah, it would be it's one of those ones you think, yeah, this would be good.
There's some things that I've thought that I've had to put out because, like, obviously, I took for Gordon's vampire thing and send out the consent things, especially for something like Cthulhu. So there's
Cthulhu's
stuff,
yeah.
aye, because there's some stories that I've just went that nope, thrown out the window because I know
Yeah.
that someone has said they're not okay with this. So it's like I was going
I
to
did
have.
it with you every session of Cthulhu and Alien. I was like,
Well,
no, I could.
It's important for a game like that, and
Hell yeah.
I don't. My games are full of baby eating dog killers.
Sometimes I'll
Cool,
say like, "Oh,
Terminator.
I'm not okay with that," and then I'll be in the game and it'll happen, and I'll do it, and then I'm like, "Oh, I said I
Yeah,
wasn't okay with
you-
that, but it's fine."
you're written
All
in the
the
consent
genocide.
form you aren't okay with child murder, and in Demon
And
Dogs
then,
you
yeah.
fed goblin blood to one and then murdered the goblin in another one.
Yeah, but that's Demon
Yeah,
Dog.
it
That's
it
different.
just
I know.
happens sometimes. I'll
It
say
just
I'm not
happens.
okay with something, and then it'll happen, and I'll be like, "Well, apparently I'm not. I'm okay with it."
Aye, There's a bit of
Context is
comedy to this
key.
as well.
Simple as
Yeah.
that.
Context is
context
Yeah.
key, as you
Aye.
say.
And also, as you said, if say it was comedic,
Aye. There's a
it's
difference.
also, I mean, it's so exaggerated and so silly and so crazy. There's not really an element of realism
Yeah.
to Demon Dogs. It's like, wait, this is
Aye.
like a
Cthulhu, on the other
Aye,
hand.
yeah,
Cthulhu,
Cthulhu,
So it's like a
I'm
mangled
describing the
child's
corpse of it.
body.
Aye.
Then that is where I
Aye.
sort of draw the line. Like, I don't
Cthulhu
want
could
to
definitely-
I
say
d-
that shit.
Aye, like I described you smashing the goblin's head in and it like having a single tear. That was as dark as I went with Cthulhu. I'm describing like the little girl in the room, like where Rod like gone into detail about what has happened to this child and
Funnily enough, there's a Cthulhu investigation I wrote. Actually, when I was writing this, the one I ran with yous up, and it was a case of this is all really good. But then I realised I'm going, fucking, the time it was set, I was going, is that going to be, especially now, is it going to be streamable?
Mhm.
Because the set is the height of the Troubles in Ireland, and I'm going, can I feasibly run this?
Mm.
Can I feasibly run this without people get taken too much offence? Because
Mm.
it's one of those things I'm going, fuck, I don't think I could get away with running that,
Aye.
especially in the Troubles, because I was the Troubles, man.
Aye.
You know.
I mean, yeah, yes, you're right, but also, I mean, like films exist, books exist, things are set during these times. I mean, I mind reading books in high school that would have like set during the Troubles. So
People
it's one of
see
the
it
things that things
differently
like
though.
done.
Like I've
2010s
Yeah.
noticed
were
that.
Do
Like
okay.
that. What
Yeah.
I'm saying is,
no, but I've
provided you
noticed
treat
that.
it with at least a bit of care.
That's what I mean. And here's my problem with it. Like, as in, people do treat games differently than they treat books and movies. They give you the movies. Like, I can't remember the name of it, but there was a first-person shooter that was supposed to be based on like during like the Iraq War and stuff,
Aye,
and it
7 Days of Fallujah or something like that.
it got
Yeah.
cancelled because nobody like this was in dedication to this military unit that had went through it, and it
It was a
was
subject matter.
and it's like one person was upset about it and they just cancelled the whole thing, and it's like, and they basically says that it's not okay to make a game about this, even though they were saying they were going to take it seriously, and then it's like you're getting movies about it, but nobody's getting mad
Yeah,
at a movie about it.
it was a psychological it was a psychological subject matter of it, because a lot of stuff happened
Aye,
where it was a case of some lost their. Well, I don't know the ins and outs, and
aye,
I don't want to say on stream because of the fact is my facts would be wrong.
yeah,
But
no, unless
there
I
was
was
a case of
100%.
Call it alternate facts.
yeah, there were.
All,
But
all, all I know is
all I
that
can say I know for sure, there was child
Mm.
soldiers in there, and it was,
yeah,
you
Oh
know,
shit.
that
yeah,
was the
stuff.
thing. That was the content that they were turning and says we can't possibly do this. But
Oh
then
no,
you
like,
look at a game like what do you call it? Was it Spec Ops: The Line?
yeah, I know what one you're
Which
on about where it's dealing with
oh
PTSD.
man, I mean that is a game that that's a military shooter basically set in Dubai, where it was a case of a lot of stuff had happened, and oh man, you played that game, Scott?
I know it's like as in it's like you find out what you've actually been doing at the
It's your
end,
military, yeah. It's your
Mhm.
military shooter. It's your bog standard military shooter. But
and
the
you just
story throughout
aye,
is it's beautiful. I
it
say
is the
beautiful. It's
best.
beautifully written, is what I should have said. Even then, what do you call it? Hell in a Sacrifice.
I've no clue.
Was that? That's really good for kind of like say mental health trauma and stuff.
Aye.
Which is a really really good game.
There is
Really.
a lot of games for it, and there is respect to some of it, but I think dealing with real life things, people are still a
Yes.
bit you're minimizing it by making a game out of it. I think
Aye.
because Spec Ops wasn't based on anything, it's based on real
Technically
emotions,
it
but
was,
it's
as
not
you
a
say.
real
Aye.
event.
Yeah, they kind of alluded to and do other stuff, but they put it in a different setting. But it was just a beautiful
Aye.
game, man.
And it's like whenever they do that, and people are okay with that. In fact, they'll give awards to people for that. But if you talk about a real thing, like you make Black Hawk Down, which
7 Days of Fallujah or
aye,
7 Days of Fallujah.
aye,
Aye,
it's like they're dark stories, but it's like people view it differently. If it's
because it's
and
real.
books get away with a lot more as well. Like as in,
Mm.
I've noticed that there's some things that you can't get away with in movies that are all over the place in
Aye.
books.
I think it's because it's you can like in films obviously you can visually see it,
In
whereas
games, is
in
that further you're
books and
doing it?
stuff, it's just your imagination of what it's saying.
Yeah, you're sure it's performing the actions technically in a video game. The film, you can
Yeah,
distance
exactly.
yourself from
Yeah,
the character, or you can put you and print yourself on the character as and when you want, basically in a film
Yeah.
or the books.
I know that's where
Um,
people have the problem with it, but personally, I think it's just that games aren't seen the same way as movies and books are. They're getting there, but they're
No,
not
you're
seen
right,
that way.
because that Call of Duty scene with the no Russian level
Yeah,
was that was a bad. That's probably the best example. Actually, I'll probably turn around and
uh-huh.
says a lot of people were up in arms about that. Where a
And if
lot of
that was
people
in a book, people would be like,
no
"Oh, that
ads. Right,
horrifying chapter in that book."
yeah. It was a book or a film. You can turn around and say, no, I don't. you can't imprint yourself on these characters. The game, though, shoot is pulling the trigger, mate. You can't help but. But you do have that choice to skip it, which is I think they had to do in the end. It was a good idea.
It was
But,
a good idea they had to skip, but remember that got a lot of controversy as well.
Oh, damn right. Speaking of skipping, Mutant.
What?
You just
Sorry,
you
yeah.
just skim a lot of the story and decide, fuck it, we're gonna do some shit.
Well, actually, yeah, to anyone that's bothered to watch, yes, next week the DM has grown tired of what we're doing.
DM's so tired of our shit.
Also, you guys are on the clock, so you have two options next week. You can either go and do a thing, or you can do what you're doing, but the end is coming. The next chapter, the end of Arc 1, the Hell Drivers is coming.
That'll be
So it
interesting.
is next week. You have got the option to get some shit done, bring yourself some backup, which has been Scott's idea from I don't know, more than a month.
I
now.
agree with the backup. Yes, I agree with that.
However,
I have
I'm interested to see where you go for the backup, because there is better and there is less good choices.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm thinking the one that's not a great option is the dude within all the kids, because I'm thinking, well, obviously you don't
not
want
the
the kids to
best
fight.
option, but
Yeah.
we have made a deal with Diane. Remember?
Oh,
You're
you
best
made a
friends
deal with
with-
Diane.
I
You
made a
with
deal
Diane.
that is
Waving
the
there.
only thing she is
That's
having
great,
to
you
do
remember-
is leave Grey alone.
Hmm.
So it's like
I would
get that.
also say that yous actually, what I forgot about, and yous probably didn't forget about, was yous have found a stock of robots.
Yep.
which I
Yeah.
The
did
robot
to
that you
allude
found
to.
in front of that building has the ability to defend itself.
If I remember correctly, I told the fixers about this when we came back on that from that journey to
Mhm.
say, look, you need to get out there and pick these up, and I haven't heard anything about it since.
That's correct. That's because they did not go. Because shortly after that, the Ark got thrown into pretty crazy things happening, and they
Oh
were
yes,
working in the car.
you are absolutely right. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what happened. That they didn't go, and then a bit of time passed, but like the artwork was literally like, oh shit, things have happened. And also, I wasn't just going to give you guys a free pass. You guys go and deal with what you have.
Yeah.
But now at this point, Scott has stopped by and picked. He has taken everything he needs to take. And what I'll tell you is that robots are effective fighters, and you have enough parts now. But I wouldn't make you guys sit and do.
Yeah, I
rules
would
and that.
probably
If you
just
want to pass
say,
them along to
Give it
O'Brien.
the
I've
fixers,
said with
yeah.
Grey, get the gearheads
the
to do
gearheads, the
that.
fixers would
The
sell them.
armory could start that militia up, and we could get people doing the Arc building project whilst we're off doing the adventure.
What I was going to say, if you want to do the militia, I would make you pick who's in charge of the militia.
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
Well, you if you
Oh, it
want
has
to
to be
make your
something that
kids a
remains in the
militia,
Arc, if memory serves me with that.
not one of yous, just you just have to pick someone you think would be good at it.
One of my
Just-
children.
You could be. It could. Well, the militia would be. Yeah, the militia would maybe have a couple of different groups. But yeah, absolutely. If you want someone, if you want your daughter, the enforcer, to be head of the militia, you can certainly do that. I'm into it. But then, as I
I don't
always
like the way you
say,
smiled
you
there.
paint a target on whoever you do this to,
Yes. Yeah.
because they will then
That's
become a
true.
I
part
would
of a
argue
militia.
Red is our best option right now.
Ooh, Red, who's definitely never betrayed you.
Well,
I
now
told
you
you.
say it like that.
I told you. I never trusted
You
Red to begin with.
suspect her.
Mhm.
But I mean,
still
to be
suspect
fair,
her.
Red's never done wrong. Never, you don't know if Red's done anything wrong.
Red's my friend.
This was also why the reasons that I wanted that it was such a high bounty on the Sunnies. I wanted anybody that was thinking of betraying us to think twice about it right now, because they're like, that is the bounty he's going to put on anybody that betrays the Ark. I do not want to be one of the guys betraying the Ark.
Yeah.
That is
A lot of people will do a lot for thing. That is basically
So-
like me going like a million here.
I would imagine. So Ulf doesn't really know much of these about the Sunnies, about the fact that the Sunnies have betrayed us.
as it stands right now. Ulf knows nothing of them. He
Yeah.
doesn't know, apart from
Simple
knowing who they
No,
are.
he doesn't.
Myself would know though the fact that though they are way too incompetent to be able to be the ones that have betrayed us. There's no way they've betrayed us. I think they've tried. I don't think it's them.
Oh, I think they're working for someone, but my character has to
Well, no,
operate
I
differently
think
than
they've
I
tried. I think they're definitely working for whoever they're trying to betray us. I don't think it's them though. That's the major threat. There's someone else, and I still think it's Red to this day because I don't know where Red is. In fact, I haven't spoken to Red.
Red's
seen
back at the
Red.
compound.
Are
Ulf
you
doesn't know
sure?
that. Yeah, they spoke to her in the last episode.
Yeah, I
Specifically
did.
spoke to her.
Took a drink with her.
Took a drink with Red, Lynx, and Jinx.
Yeah.
And also the guy whose name I always forget that I named is there. Can't remember what it was though. Guy with who's got fucked up leg who took you up.
Ulf definitely doesn't know that. So I'm
That's
still
fine,
going
I
on
mean,
that fact.
I trust Lynx, but Lynx would not be a good choice. Well, actually, he's a stalker, so he would be a good choice.
What I will say is that
Should be
it's
an
not gonna be that
enforcer.
complicated, guys. Right? I'm not trying to fuck yous over here, right? So see if you pick somebody. I may or may not down the line make them something else. Maybe they just wanted to insert. Who knows? Like, you know,
Don't make Red a bad guy,
there's
right? Because she's
also
one of my
80 other
favourite
mutants in the
friends.
arc
Just
I've
to
never
let
even
you know.
met. Yeah.
So how long do you think Reckon Session 1 is going to be? Or Season 1?
I plan on having season 1 finished by the end of this year. So you have got next week for your final get people to get what you're doing. The week after that, depending on how things go in the next session, will either be the Helldivers turning up or they will turn up at the end of that episode. I would rather have it done, and then you take from there. And then the episode after that, I believe that would take us. Let me have a look at my thing here. So Monday next week is the 28th, the 5th, and then the 12th. And then after that, we're probably going to be gone for 3 weeks because then we've got the 19th, 26th, and 2nd. So I don't see us returning until the 9th. So I
January.
think it'll be a 3-week break there. I'm not saying we won't play games ourselves, so we might stream something, but I will not be doing Mutant because so we've got 3 episodes. So what I'd like to see is either backup, Helldivers, clean up, or backup, Hell Drivers, and then what the outcome of that. But you know, it's your guys' game. I'm just the guy that points that just
Or
steers
talk
the
about phalluses and
I really
penile.
want to destroy their fuel.
Well, I actually was debating doing a stealth mission to
Just nip
them.
to the toilet.
Yeah.
No, but I
No.
was debating, but there was no way I could think of doing it without basically getting caught. Because I was sitting there like, I could walk
Yeah,
in and act
that
as
was
if
my
I'm
thought.
willing to betray the Ark, get close to them, and then wreck their fucking stuff. But then I'm sitting there like, yeah, I'm not going to pull that off. They're not going to let me near that stuff when I've just arrived. It's like I don't think they're that stupid.
If you guys come up with a good idea, I would rather let it roll and do it. But you're right. Like if you just walk out and say, "I'm your friend," they're probably just going to kill you because they are not
I
nice
wouldn't say
people.
they would necessarily kill me, but they wouldn't let me near anything that I could hurt them with. Like they'd be like, "Yeah, cool. Give me information. How much?" Like they would want that stuff and then come back. Like they would say something like that.
The way I see it, you guys have got plenty of options. I mean, you know they're coming. You know they're going to demand half your shit. You know where they stay. You know where you roughly have people that may or may not be allies. And I'll say that there's no
There,
wrong answers with
there
any of this.
is a part of me that is tempted that when they ride out to us, to like sneak into their base and basically go up to all their slaves that are there and be like, "Why don't you just come and help us and we can get rid of them and then you'll be free of them?"
Or we leave our base. They get there. There's no one there, and then we go back to their base that
Or they
they've
would just,
left empty.
I was gonna say they would just take our food and stuff like that and then come back.
You would also,
Oh
yeah, I
no,
mean, you
we'd take our stuff.
And
They
they
just go
won't.
to an empty base, and we'd sneak in theirs and take theirs.
Plus, I
so
don't
you
think
want to
that
leave
all
the arc
come out. I
you
think they
hunting.
probably leave a
No.
few folk and like some random
Yeah.
Yeah,
thralls
they
and
would.
stuff. Because I'd
Stuff's gonna
imagine it's
happen.
all
Yeah.
their weak guys and like a few of their tougher guys to stick about. But
Even if they leave 20 mutants there and like 30 kind of slaves that are broken, that's still like
aye.
a lot of things to deal with.
Yeah, but
However,
my
there's no
my
wrong
point
answer.
would be to convert their slaves to our side, to know that they are, to get rid of them, because I can't think of a way I could do that reasonably. Like, you get what I mean? Like, as in it's
I mean, as I said before, you guys have currently got access to the Widow Kitty that you would need work done to it.
I,
You've got access to the munitions factory, which is that thing we talked about where the guy with the kids is. Morlock, I can't remember her name, the one stream, the Morlocks with their queen, and Rust Castle.
I will point out with that little kitty thing, as much as I want Grey to get it, I don't want to say as soon as the party's together again. I do not want to split them anytime soon.
That's what I was saying to Lee. I was like, we need to get a party back together and do something.
Because I think that is also why people have been hesitant to go out and do things. Because
It's
the
almost
problem
I
like
think we should set some traps up, like get the gearheads to make
oh yeah,
traps for the vehicles,
we've been
because they'll be a
talking about
problem.
that stuff. That was something that you guys discussed with them, and now that I've got Diane and all that working, whereas I'm hoping that that stuff gets built in the meantime whilst we're off doing. I'm kind of hoping that the art pulls its weight on the defending itself thing and starts building stuff since it's in
I
everybody's
would say
interest.
you've spent enough time warning the people of the Ark and going around talking about this now that it's people are concerned enough to like, okay, in this one instance, we're going to work together.
Yeah.
However, it depends what happens next because the Hell Drivers are not nothing. They are strong and they can fuck you up. However, you guys have come up with some good ideas, and I'm not gonna like just fucking punish you for it. You might, things are gonna happen. People are gonna die, but trust you guys.
Oh, I know people will die in it, but it's like, as in my point being is like we need to nip this in the bud now because if they come back, when are they going to come back for the next lot half or stuff? It's like they'll just keep doing that, and that is a lot to be given them. So I was just sitting there like, it's better to take the losses now than because we'll lose the mutants anyway. 'Cause as soon as they come and take half our stuff, I'm also tempted to just go yeah, cool, and bring them a shit ton of water because we have a lot of water source.
Here's half our
Just be
stuff.
like, they need
I
water
feel
as well. We have water like free flowing. They don't.
They do not. No, they do have to go and get like their water in containers and come back. I guess they might. Well, I don't
They
know.
might even be willing to do that as a trade if we're like, we will allow you access to our water as long as you don't fuck with us.
Well, why would
We
if
don't know
you
that
let
they
them know
don't
where
already
it is?
have access, though, do
Yeah.
we?
No, meaning let
They-
them
they
access as
just
in we
know where
will
the
give
water is,
them
but-
cargo
Oh,
of
okay.
water.
Aye.
Like,
Yeah,
If
you
you let them
provide
where our
it.
waters, if you let them know where our water's
give
coming
us a
from,
few
they'll
of them.
just take it.
In fact, that might be a peaceful solution for this. Say if we go if we get some cargoes, cars from you, and you provide us fuel for our vehicles, we will give you water. You won't
guys know
have
how
to
much
worry
I
about
see
water
dislike
them-
again.
so what I'd say is I've never written it in such a way that the big bad must be defeated through martial means. If you guys come up with a clever thing to do, and also I mean, you spoke to some of these guys before. They weren't like
Yep.
crazed. They weren't nice people, but like nobody's nice. The mutants in the Ark aren't
They
nice
weren't
people.
crazy to kill a guy. They killed a guy. Killed
Yeah,
one of
the
their
Kill
own.
last
one of their
two
own
were-
guys for no
fucked
reason.
up and let himself get taken.
The last who was in charge was pretty violent, and we weren't. We did like we saw her from a distance. Me and
She
Richard.
killed people for fun.
Yeah, exactly. That's what kind of just made me automatically think,
A
fine.
leader of this kind of gang would do that kind of stuff. However, that person wasn't the leader.
I will point out that even our worst ones had a reason for people that they killed.
Yeah.
And also, these guys have just pretty much made life terrible for everyone else. We're kind of like scavenging. And I bet there's a few mutants that have done some awful things, but none of them are like, I kill this person for funsies.
No, we haven't done anything like that, have we?
Oh, there might be a
only
few
when
that
I
we
used
don't
it-
know is doing that, but Diane might be doing that.
That's true, yeah. I love the piglets. How we got the piglet, I'm really excited about that. Because, we got a food source.
You got a
And
food
I rolled a
source and an extra
6.
source.
I was
Yeah, you
just
rolled a
like,
six.
hell
Two
yes.
sixes and a 4. I was like, the reason I gave you all those dice, I thought, oh, they're gonna end up rolling like fucking 2 2s and a 1 or something. I forgot how dice work. I'm like, oh yeah, they could be any number, can't they? Yeah.
Yeah.
Occasionally you guys roll good, but yeah, you guys have got
It's
lots
probably
of
because when I
stuff you can
rolled
do.
for the bullets, I rolled 2d6 and I got like 7 or something.
Scott actually said something a while ago, that he probably remembers, is that when they turn up, there's a chance that it's going to be. I'll tell you her name. Her name is Iona the Corpse Eater. She's in charge of them.
Yeah.
And when she turns up, you just could maybe go and try and deal with her. But that's up to you guys.
I got that.
Yeah.
Like, there
I'm
are
excited.
ways we can do it without losing people. I just can't think of any off the top of my head. It's not high risk, but then it's going to be high risk. We're dealing with dangers that are quite high for us. This would be a high risk situation in real life.
Exciting
It
stuff.
will be.
Exciting stuff.
It's
And
making me think of The Walking Dead.
Yeah, it's making me think like how
What
would
a
we
fucking
actually
Walking
think in
Dead.
this
that's
situation.
another game by Free League Publishing.
I don't
I
know
was
how I
really
feel about
excited
The
about
Walking
it.
If
Dead
you're
one.
watching,
I don't know how I feel
Hey,
about it.
Craig.
Because you were suggesting it, but I'm sitting there like, is that not just mutant with less stuff?
Literally, see, at first I was like, oh, that sounds really cool. And then see, the more I thought, I was like, wait a minute. The Walking Dead has zombies. So that's, you could fight zombies, okay. Who else could you fight? Baddies, like raiders.
right? See, before you go any further down this conversation, where you were saying you were wanting Free League to put it to sponsor and watches and
Hey,
stuff like
if they can't take their stuff being questioned, then they don't deserve to be our sponsor,
that.
right? I
We
could be
have
wrong.
enough
Maybe they come up
viewers
with a
now where
million
we
new
can
things.
argue.
Oh yeah.
and
We make our own money. Thank you very much. We're swimming in coins.
If they hire me and pay me more than I make at my job, then I will sing only praise about them. Until they do so, if your game's shit, I'll say it's shit. I really like Alien. I really like Mutant. I'm really. I fucking fund. I didn't fund it. Didn't fund it. Calm down, Lee. I backed your Kickstarter for Dragonbane. I was very tempted to get that war game, but I've managed to resist. But
Oh, the
if I hadn't
mutant
been
one.
so skinned,
I'm
Kickstarter's
tempted
finishing.
as well, but it's
It
like
looked-
money,
it looks
and
tasty.
also I would just have them sitting here. I wouldn't be able to like anytime soon.
You wouldn't take them in.
Aye.
I've backed 2 games that I'm still waiting coming in. It's just because of the fucking shipping, because of Brexit and the
Yeah.
COVID.
I
Well,
same.
that's what they say. I would play that game with my kids, and I wouldn't be able to play it till November next year. And I'm like, but I really want it. And I think I've got till tomorrow to decide. I could just wait till it comes out and buy it. But I might.
That's
It's
true.
79 quid. But it's
Man,
not against Christmas next month or anything.
I bought the
Yeah, you gotta remember though, when they come out, they are more expensive.
yeah, I fully backed the Witcher board game with all the expansions and that.
Me too.
Did you?
You did not, did you?
Oh.
Hell yeah, the one with the models.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
excellent.
had the
didn't
whole
know that.
entire thing.
I mean, I've got it. I backed that as well, like
I'm
last
so
year.
excited about it.
I wish
Yeah,
James
me
was.
Yeah, I did the exact same thing.
Fucking hey, that's actually quite weird.
cool, yeah.
Also,
Never came up.
also backed a game called Senjutsu because I'm right into my Japanese lore and stuff like that, and I fully backed that as well. Again, similar type of games, different type of combat, and I'm like, oh, this is really good, and I'm just desperate for these games to come in because you know how when you put a lot of money into something and you want to have
Yeah.
a physical thing to hold, it's starting to make me antsy a wee bit, but they're updating us on everything. It's just I want it and I want it now. I want it yesterday.
Yeah, you
But
constantly
you-
get messages from them, and it's like, we're gonna be a little bit late, or we're discussing this, and I'm like, I want it though.
I get it why, but I just want it now. But
I'm just gonna have a quick look at whether or not that one's finished or not.
mhm. Speaking of strange coincidences in games, strange games anyway. Demon Dog.
Yeah.
Might as well talk about Demon Dog while we're here. Is this going to be a more regular thing, Scott?
Well, we're going to be doing it on Wednesday. We're going to try doing it every Wednesday with sporadic changes, because I love the game, but I like to do other things as well sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, Demon Dog's got to become a more thing. I have got more supplements and stuff like that. I've got more interesting things coming down the line for them. Speaking of which, because we were talking about ships, Pirate Borg is one of them.
Oh God.
So there is
What's
naval
that?
combat. It's a Zero Demon Dogs based off Mortborg. So is Pirate
Yeah.
Borg. So I could just fit it right in to Demon Dog.
That's so cool.
It's pretty
is
cool
so
that
cool.
it's pretty cool that Nightfall Games and Free League Publishing can do shit like that. It's just it fits so in
like,
nicely.
I don't
Two
know.
companies we're actually good friends with.
I know.
As you
It's
follow
like I know Free League produces it. I don't like.
Yeah.
I've seen Stockholm Cartel on it as well. I need to look into this more. I'm sure I've seen Free League getting mentioned before, so I don't know if it's like Stockholm Cartel does it, Free League produces it, and has the rights or something. I don't know how it works, but I know that it's kind of all three of those companies sort of thing. But yeah, it is really good. It covers both for it, and like, because let's face it, all of our favorite games are from them and Chaosium. Really, it's like
Yeah, and
Wizards of the
Nightfall,
Coast.
Nightfall as well. Nightfall is really good. Well,
Oh,
D&D's
Nightfall
D&D.
was what I mean.
D&D what it is.
Nightfall's
Aye.
really good.
Yeah,
I
D&D
do
is
love.
D&D.
I do love slaying stuff like that, but I'm also aware that sometimes the rules can be a bit annoying for people, like because I think
Especially coming into it brand new and
I
blind.
I think it's someday like I've spoken about it with Lee and that I think that Richard, Gordon loves that because it feels very grindy and
Mm.
you have to think tactically in it. You can't just walk down a hall and shoot people. Can't be that badass. You have to think.
I'm a war gamer, mate. I'm
Aye.
always thinking tactically when it comes to that kind of thing. It's one of the things you think of.
Exactly, but then it's other people want a more narrative version. So there's things that I look at it and I'm like, that's genius, but also for someone that wants narrative, it slows it right down. It's like you've seen it in Terminator, so anybody that's watched it in Terminator, because it's the same rules. I love that initiative system because I feel like it
Oh
gives
yeah,
you.
it's great. The
Because I like
initiative system is a fantastic idea. It's
because I like
because
the
you have
idea
to.
of you being able to go I want to figure out what that person's planning and doing. Like that, because that is how people will think. It's in combat situations. You're like, oh, what's that formation they're doing? Why are they doing that? Like, you get what I mean? And it's
It's reactive. It's a reactive system, so
yeah,
it's a case of So even though you're last, you're going first. Even though
yeah,
you've rolled the lowest, you go first. But that just means the person who's higher can react to what you're doing,
aye,
which is pretty much how it should be. If you're, I mean, it just shows you how quick thinking and forward thinking you are in the game.
aye. So like I said, absolutely love that. I also like how they instead of giving out the inspirations, they give out the I can't remember what they call it,
Body
but it's like
point, brain point, and a cool
aye,
point.
it's like brain points. The
Hit points,
points.
yeah,
I couldn't
yeah.
remember if there was an overarching one where it's
Probably has a
like
proper name for it. That's what I
I've got a
remember.
fate point. I think if I'm not
Eight point
mistaken,
in
if it's the
Terminator,
same
that's what it's
rules.
called.
Yeah,
aye. It probably is the same as Slay. It's been a while since I've read the rules to remember it
I mean,
100%.
the exact same system with like slightly different tweaks. So yeah.
Aye, it's I love that because it's like as in it's gone the instead of an inspiration, you are having something that is specific to your character that you can pull at your butt when you want. And I do like how some of it is just the GM, tell me what you think we should be doing. Like,
To be
it's
fair,
like
it's not actually a bad shout to introduce that in every game that we have because like it's useful, and sometimes you're like, what the fuck are we supposed to be doing here?
aye. It's like I say, it can depend on what it is. Like it can fit things because like idea from the GM, you could do that in Cthulhu, but there's also a part of me that's sitting thinking with Cthulhu that might give you too much information. How much information can a GM give you without giving you it?
I mean, just a location, just like a place to go, or like a
Alright.
question to ask, or a
But
person to speak
I
to.
will point out, because we stream, if yous are thinking too long about where to go, I will just go, this is a good idea.
Hmm.
it is weird that kind of thing because you're relying on them to go right. What he's doing,
Aye.
and then they'll spend 45 minutes arguing or discussing, which is not a bad thing either.
Argscussing, we
Aye,
call it.
because there was a
Discussing.
because there was a bit when I was doing the Cthulhu one where they got back to the town and that, and they'd interacted with the cult and that, and they're like, there was different things they could have done. Like I thought they might have tried to pretend as though they were inside the cult because they were being very friendly to them and stuff like that. Or it was got to be like they didn't do
Take the
that, but then it
Rachel
was like,
approach. Take the Rachel approach. Kill everybody.
well, it
I
was
mean, we did do that.
Hey, I don't do
Yeah.
that all the time
in
now.
Cthulhu she was
Apparently,
stopping the killing.
To be
Thank
fair,
you.
Chris was our Rachel in that episode. Now I think about it.
Yeah. But as I was saying, it was like yous were struggling at places to go, and I was like, I could tell them to go to these different places that they might get information, but the stream's getting on and they've been talking about it for so long. Maybe it's a good idea to go and speak to a priest because it's a supernatural thing you're looking for. Somebody might think it's a devil or something. Like,
yes. Again, when I was running Cthulhu for that reason, it was a case of right. These are specific locations. These are the only locations you really need to know about. As a case of this, and it leads to such and such. It's just like a mind map.
That's
So
important.
like they would have been able to get there
these days.
eventually, but they were
Yeah.
spending ages thinking about where they were going, and I'll be honest, I could have probably twisted anywhere they went. Like somebody's just like, oh yeah, and this guy was in here the other day, and he was saying about weird light in the forest. Like,
Mm.
Yeah, I love my character for that Cthulhu. We did.
Psychic mechanic.
Wow, did you get psychic? Oh yeah, you would have been there. You would have
Yeah,
had high
Pulp
magic.
I'll do what you
Cthulhu.
want. I've got a magic fucking 6-shooter in Pulp Cthulhu.
I'm
It's great.
basically a witch.
I
That's
kind
so
of
much
like.
fun.
I'm an enchanted cowboy.
I think he's all said Jesus prefer the Pulp Cthulhu because it's less
fun.
deadly.
Yeah, we get more
Yours
health
is
points
much
and stuff.
hardier,
Yeah.
and you can do cool things. Whereas in Cthulhu, it's like just trying not to die all the time. It's like, oh well, should we go into that cave? No, we fucking shouldn't. Let's dive into that cave and run away.
I
Yeah,
still
but then you
like
get Pulp that
regular
says, "Hell
Cthulhu.
yeah, we're
though.
going in that cave."
Aye.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Pulp Cthulhu's like, yeah, if anything, they should be
Pew
scared
pew
of us.
pew, and then I
Yeah.
just started blasting them. I saw
I
an
just started
unknowable
blasting.
evil, and I just started blasting.
So I just got my guns and I just started
Eldritch
blasting.
Blast.
Like when we were playing just like Cthulhu, not Pulp Cthulhu. Like every game we played when it was a one shot, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna die at the end of this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I fully expected to.
I do
That's
think Call of Cthulhu
much
is where
you
people.
should.
Cthulhu is the better one to start with, but then I saw some of yous didn't like the fact your characters died in the one shot. It wasn't like yous were nasty.
Certain people in particular.
I'm not saying any names, but I could see
No,
that
no.
yous genuinely weren't happy with it. And I'm like, well, these games are supposed to be fun for people, and Pulp Cthulhu's
Yeah.
you're a wee bit tougher. And it seems to have went a treat, especially with Lee, who's just like loving the fact he can have a magic gun. And not just a
Yeah.
magic gun, 2 magic guns.
I just love the fact that I've got spells I can do shit like that.
Mhm.
And the first time I ever did it, I completely like just rolled perfect.
Yeah.
Well, I think this is a big thing with Cthulhu is that when we play Cthulhu, we often play from like this is your character just moving into the world of Cthulhu. But there's so much in Cthulhu that you can actually get. Like you talk about spells, like none of us have ever got to use spells in Cthulhu because to get to the part where you get spells, you've effectively got to play the game for about 3 years with the same character. Whereas it's now we all got a basis in the game. Let's get to the fucking cool stuff. It's like if you play vampires. Oh, you're a fledgling vampire. Fuck you, fledgling vampire. I want to be like an 8th generation vampire that can move mountains with my mind. And
You
fucking
can
I've
do that
only
kind
ever
of style of
played
vampire. I mean,
fledgling.
you can take the traits to be an older generation and do stuff
that's
like
what I'm
that.
getting at. It's
Yeah.
like, we've played these games long enough, like, why not take advantage of the cool stuff that you get to? Like, that's a DM challenge to come up with challenges for them. But, like, if you have, like, we fucking rock into town, we're badass vampires, we do a bunch of bad vampire shit, and then people are like, no, you can't do that. Like, maybe the fucking old guard come in and try to calm us down. But give me a few episodes where you're, like, fucking invincible. And then it
Yeah,
turns out
no,
you can easily be vinced.
Harry shoots the fly off the top of a bottle. Did this happen in Pulp?
Yep. Aye. Harry was insane. It's like we had
Yeah.
Lee's character who was set up to shoot, and
Oh, that's right,
it's like he failed his roll for something. I can't remember where it was you failed, but you failed something, and then
Was
it was
it
like,
hit the camera or something like that?
aye,
Did
and
that
then
fail, or did I just not hit it? Did I not succeed as good? Was it not just she rolled like amazing?
aye,
No,
it was
two
some.
that were
I
like
can't remember where it was, but I remember you were doing something, and then Harry, it was just like crit passes.
Yeah,
It's
it was
like,
insane.
I might have been shooting at I might have been shooting at the guy or something. Anyway, whatever. Yeah, but then Harry just like literally fucking, just his abs ripped through his shirt and just kind of like pulled out the gun, like closed his eyes, spun it round 5 times.
I've
You
just
just went,
remembered.
oh.
I just
never
remembered
shot.
you talking about that. I backed the Deadlands Kickstarter back in the day as well. I've probably got Deadlands sitting somewhere.
That's
If you've ever
the
played
Somewhere.
Deadlands.
that's the cowboy
Yeah.
one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I've been debating it with Demon Dog, but it's like, and I feel like there's just so much for Demon Dog to do because I've been writing stuff up, and I'm sitting there like, Jesus, I've written like at least a year's worth of stuff already.
Nice.
Not
No,
like
no.
story. I'm just meaning like places.
I get you.
Because it's that's something to do like with Demon Dog. It's skeletal. There's no lore already there, so it's like, yeah, I've got a hint about what this area's like. I have to fill in the rest. It's like with Demon Dog, I'm Mortborg in that because it's like Like, if you've read Mortborg at all, it's like when it's giving you the lore, it's written like poetry, so it's double speak.
Yeah, I tried to read the book for that. It was a hard read.
Yeah, there's
But it was more
literally.
about, you said, the writing style as opposed to what it said.
I will say though, if you can't handle the writing, there is a bare bones edition that just removes all the art and the fonts for it, and it's just readable. And I will be honest, I use that when I'm freaking like reading stuff. I love the book. The book is beautiful. It's fantastic. It's artistic.
However,
Yes. However, it is brutal to read. Demon Dog is better in that regards. They use fancy
Sometimes I
fonts,
just need to
but it's still
understand
readable.
what you're saying.
Aye.
Hmm,
But
I
Demon
get that.
Dog is readable. Like,
That's funny.
So,
Merkin.
like I say, we're in 2 hours there. We've got about, say, got another half hour. We usually do 2.5 hour streams. Rach,
Yeah.
when are you running a game?
Ooh,
Um,
10 past
I
never
don't know.
or soon. Let me ask that question differently. Do you think, could you see a point where you'd be comfortable running that game?
Aye, yeah, I should probably point like that, yeah.
I've ran games with my brothers before, so I know I can do it. It's just my anxiety is so bad that I don't know if I'd panic and like thingy out beforehand, because
I get you.
it's not what I want to do either.
Fair enough.
Like
If you were to run a
I
game, what
hate
would you
being that
pick?
person.
Yeah, what would you if you got the chance to run any game? What game? Even forget all the ideas of because your anxieties and stuff. Let's just say you're okay with that. What game would you run if you had any chance to run a game?
I know D&D is best,
Hmm.
so that would be the easiest for me. But I do love Cthulhu, and that would be really fun to run. But I don't know all the rules well enough to run it. I don't
Cthulhu,
think.
you don't need to worry about the rules.
Hulu is very rules light.
Yeah. There's even a
Nice.
simpler one
Yeah.
that I've found recently that is even lower. Basically, D100 for everything, and you just need to remember what guns do. Like, it's if you look at the sheet, the hardest thing to remember is what the money's worth and all that, and
Mm,
like lore and history.
settings.
Aye.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, you don't need to roll that much. Like that last Cthulhu one I was doing with you, I was trying to get you to roll as little as possible, and it
Yeah, you were.
worked.
Uh-huh.
Like people enjoyed it. I was like, all right, they only want to roll in high risk situations. That's what we'll do. I'm not going to make these roll to run up a hill unless
Saying
you're
that,
running per
the
creature.
Terminator does that as well. When I ran that, it says there's a lot of stuff. If it's more the difficulty, it says if it's a really difficult thing and you're under stress, you should roll. See if you've got a good fair bit of skill in it. You should be able. You should be passing that 9 times out of 10.
I
Yeah,
also say
definitely.
damn
Yeah.
the language as well. If they had higher than a 30 in it, they understand the language unless they're doing something complicated with it.
Aye, I mean, if you that's the way I usually go in Cthulhu as well. See if you're at a skill 70% or above, 9 times out of 10 you're not need to roll. It's only if you're under stress or if there's something happening at the time. If you're under fire or whatever, then you need to roll because you got more chance of fucking up then.
I think it's certainly an argument for a lot of these games. As soon as you've got a skill level in something, just assume you can do it, unless something's stopping you, as you said, like you're getting shot at. Like his own fucking else is scary. But for
the one I was saying where was Eldritch Hack. It's another guy that does the Cthulhu stuff quite a lot. He had made a really rules like one, and literally it's just occupation, skill, which is basically covers anything in your occupation, you roll it. Lore, which is your mythos, HP, and sanity. That's the only stats because he's like that's the only stats that matter for Cthulhu. And I've not played it to see whether I'm like that's a bit too light. Then I'm also sitting there like, in all honesty, like a lot of the times there's a lot of skills in this that like we were discussing it. It's where is my book? The sayings.
Probably lying on your settee behind you, your couch.
That's my Kindle. I'm just looking for. Well, Cthulhu is there actually.
Man's just got all the technology, doesn't he? Wireless headphones, Kindles, leather.
ouchies,
It's easy to wipe down. It's easy to wipe down. Aye, heating.
Don't be ridiculous. None of us he's wearing a house coat. None of us have heating.
Oh yeah,
anymore.
it's not got the skills, but like you
Oh
look at.
shite! My heating is on. Just
Me
burnt
and
myself.
you just burnt yourself. But you could afford to throw like another mink rug on the fire. To be fair with you, the way you live.
Aye.
We
It's
only
just-
have heating on in the morning and at night, and that's if it's cold. Like if
You
it's
have the
cold
heating
enough, so it has
on.
to be like
You have
really,
the heating.
really low.
You just
Morning
have the heating on
and
and
night.
night.
What?
Jesus.
I have
Well,
my
Here's
not
heating on once a
constantly,
month
only for
on a
like a few
Tuesday
hours or
for 40
something.
minutes.
She has it in the billiard room as well, and she's not even in the billiard room. She's just wasting, wasting gas, wasting
Yeah.
oil.
I'm wasting heat.
Yeah.
it's like you've got so many skills that are like mixed, and it's like they all have different things. You've got fast talk, charm, intimidate, persuasion. Sorry, if I had fact charms, their version of persuasion, I think, or is it persuasion? No. And then psychology, spot hidden. It's like so many of these are useful skills, but it's like then you've got like anthropology that you maybe need in one campaign. It's like
Yeah.
Oh,
unless, but
it
when I'm
depends.
writing a
Yeah.
scenario, I get my guys to create characters first, and I make sure that like, hey, this character's supposed to be this. There's got to be something there for them. Like you've got
I like
swim.
that. I like that you do that though. It's good.
Aye. But like I said, it's like there's a lot of skills in here that like are very rarely got to pop up, and then there's other skills that's got to come up like nearly every single game. Because spot hidden is like jokingly what I ask
Yes.
for like 99% of the time.
Mm.
Because that's like for some reason you've got 3 versions of talking your way out of a situation, but you've only got one for seeing, listening, and investigating. It's
It's
like
baffling that they did like was it like fast talk, persuasion, and like lying? It's like those are all
Aye.
basically the same thing. But no, you need to put them separately. Brindlewood Bay, by the way, is the Cthulhu game about the old ladies. I've talked about it before.
I was gonna say. I mean, they used to even in the older
Aye.
versions because I'm a vet when it comes to fucking RPGs, unfortunately. But they used to have the likes of listen and
But, like,
spot
listen,
hidden.
hear,
Mhm.
use ears.
Oh
like,
yeah, there was a lot of those kind of skills. It was a case of well,
They're
you
exactly the
different
same.
situations. Technically not.
Aye.
Spot hidden is stuff. It could be spot hidden was one of your round ones where you could say you could be looking for someone hidden. You could be looking for a specific clue.
Aye.
Something
It
might
could be
jump
like
out
a
at you when
hidden
you're
thing
reading
in
a
the
book and
wall.
go, "Oh right, and you just get the idea of an answer to a riddle or something. Whereas listen
Yeah.
is obviously do your thing, and
But
it's weird.
yes, that sounds like a lot of words for yeah, they're kind of similar.
but like I
I'm
say,
with you,
it's
Doug. He's not after that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I do feel like, in all honesty, they could probably just have occupational skills and it'd be like cover so many things. Because if you're an archaeologist, it's believable that you would know archaeology and you'd know anthropology and all that. Obviously, these are in real world. These are very specialized skills, but we're also playing a game.
Yeah.
Like,
You could argue like you've maybe got friends and that kind of thing, so you've discussed it, so you've at least got like you've got a working knowledge of it. You're maybe not an expert, but like, oh, I recognise that because me and my mate Jim were talking about that 2 years
Well,
ago. Something just to get the game moving. Otherwise, sorry, that's not your specialist skill. You know, fuck all.
anyway, Cthulhu, you could be a forklift driver or you could be an airline pilot.
Aye.
It is it differs widely from skills to skill.
How
So
often does the piloting a plane come up exactly? It's like, well,
Well,
weirdly, this
depends.
is
Never.
There is actually about 3
I was going to
campaigns
say, I
that
bet
pilot and a
both
plane would
those
come in
fuckers
handy.
go at this point, and you both did.
Yes. I just know enough of these scenarios to know pilot actually comes up surprisingly a lot.
It does, yeah,
But
it's
nobody
weird.
wants to play the pilot because that's the only thing they're good at. It's like I can pilot.
Huh.
The rest of the mission, they're just like,
If you
sorry guys.
I'm
if you read
useless.
H.P. Lovecraft as well, it comes up a few times.
Nebulous, you're absolutely right. It does sound like the first question should be, do you want to spend your game rolling dice or role playing? You're absolutely right. It should be
Right,
that. It should be a measure of
100%.
fun.
Yep.
I am as little dice rolls as possible.
And you should discuss beforehand with your group when you're starting a game, not during or whenever, just before you start the game. So look, this is what I want. I mean, I did this with my D&D group.
If I was running something like Slain, it's got to be combat heavy. I would be like dice rolling all the time, baby, because that is sort of like
it's combat.
wargaming
Yeah.
at that point.
Combat,
in
yeah,
combat,
so,
you're
yeah.
rolling all the time because you're stressed, and no matter what you're good at, if you're stressed, it's not going to go.
Yeah, you can fuck things up when you're stressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am
Hmm.
a driver by trade, and it's like
If
I
someone's shooting at you though.
yeah,
Ah,
someone
shit.
is
Yeah,
chasing
that's the
me.
thing.
It's going to be a different level of driving.
Reverse parking under fire. Ah,
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Accidentally puts it in park.
Aye,
Oh, just anything. It's like
aye.
just smashes it in and it just runs. So it's like, yeah, things are different in those situations. But like, I mean, I always, well, I've talked this loads of times, but I think if you RP something excellently and then they go, okay, roll the dice and the roll shit, it's like, that's weird. Like you just spent like 5 minutes being really awesome there, and then you go,
Yeah,
I-
I
oh,
hate
I
shit like
I
that.
will.
how the dice gods decide.
I have heard people talking about this thing called is a guy called Seth Skorkowski. I can't pronounce his name properly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
Very
know you're
famous
talking about.
Cthulhu talkie game person. He's really good at it. And he'd had a discussion about that, and he's like, he actually makes them roll before he gets them to speak. And that's like you
Oh,
roll
that,
play.
yeah.
So if you get a
that's
fail,
shout.
if you fail your persuasion roll, you role play how you fail your persuasion roll.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
actually
I
a good idea.
yeah.
I
But
like
that is
that. That's
that
quite
is aye.
good.
But that
I
also
thought
is
that's,
like it can
that's the
break.
dice gods now deciding how I get to RP. You can suck my balls.
I
Okay, I
bow-
get it. Yeah, thanks for into that.
I was going to point out there is also that, and then it's like that is also you'd have to be like, well, what are you going into this conversation trying to do? Like, I would make you maybe do a persuade roll if you're like trying to convince somebody to give you information. I might make you do a persuade before you start talking.
Well, you say that, but on top of that as well, you could argue the fact is there's not a lot of people out there who are comfortable doing that type of RP.
Mhm,
That is very, very valid.
exactly. There's
I
different
love talking,
arguments for it
so
all.
it's different
Yeah.
for me because I
Mhm.
fucking love hearing myself talk.
Nice.
Whereas other people, we've got people in our stream that aren't so comfortable with it. Whereas there's 4 people on screen right now who fucking love talking in character at length.
But
Yeah.
you heard that there,
And also
like
Rachel.
Richard loved that idea because he's like, oh,
Mm.
that
Yeah.
could be fun.
That's actually a really good idea. Yeah.
I think it's a really good idea. Lee despises they even thought of that. That's why you have to discuss it with your players.
Yeah, yeah.
You
So
don't just pull it out
anything
your
that will-
arse at the last minute without telling them.
I hate the idea of dice having to decide how you do something. It's like, well, that's bullshit. Because people talk about being bad rollers. It's like, well, cool. So imagine you rolled badly 5
Well, I'm a
times in a
bad
game
roller.
when you make a decision. So cool. I get to have a decision where my character's just a fucking useless turd the whole night. Oh, brilliant! Thanks for that fun.
I will point out that one of my favourite characters was a useless turd the whole entire time I was playing him.
That sounds awful to me, Scott. Like the whole point of it is you're meant to have fun, and it's
I
like fun
had
being
fun with it.
fucking
I just made
useless.
him comical.
I would.
The other thing is everybody wants to be the hero. So
Yeah.
The hero, useful, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
least
yeah,
I
you
will
want to
point
be
out
useful.
though-
You don't want to
I
just
don't want to be
doing
useless and
nothing
I will
the
also
whole time.
I also will point out, like, if I was doing a scenario we call it Cthulhu, sometimes that persuasion roll could be like really important for the game. I will be honest though, I don't make you roll for the ones that I think's important. Like,
yeah.
he's all as a secret I've learned from it. It's like, as in, say if you need a clue, you're getting that clue by any means necessary.
Yeah.
You roll for a fucking 100 for your spot hidden. While you're looking, you fall over into the bookcase head first. It collapses and out floats the picture that you need. That was like, however, you are now concussed.
Oh,
You know, like,
if
there's
you
ways
failed
around all these
that,
things.
you'd maybe not find the picture. But then when you go into the next room, it might be sitting on the desk, and you wouldn't have rolled for it.
Yeah. That's what I say. There's always a way to work around all these kind of things, which I'm into, you know. But just
But the reason I do that for this is half the fun of a Cthulhu thing is solving the mystery. And if you do not give someone a clue for solving the mystery, that's just mean.
So thanks everyone for joining in the stream. We
Hello?
appreciate
Yeah, it
you
was
all.
great chat,
Everybody-
guys.
I'm all
Thanks.
joking. I'm all
That was the
joking.
quickest 15 minutes ever, Leon.
For Leon, that's pretty good.
hey,
I come
hey,
to
Leon
you.
has said he'd join us in 5 minutes at 5 to 8.
Is this? Are you guys still streaming?
Yes, mate.
Maybe.
Yeah.
No,
No,
we're
we're
not.
not.
We're fine, mate.
Well,
No,
you
you're
should
fine.
know that because you obviously left it on Lurk, so for the extra viewer for us. So of course you know we're still streaming because you're watching us right now.
I was earlier on. But hey,
He
ho,
was having
I come
he
to
was
you.
having fun with his roommate.
At the top of the face. You don't know me.
Best
You're all
response,
red.
yes.
I know exactly the type of guy you are. You're heavily sweating or heavily petting, one of the two.
By the way,
Uh,
you've not zipped up yet.
Peter, man,
I'm
just
always
stand up.
strapped.
Show us your trousers.
Yeah, so by roommate you meant, lover, right?
We
Oh,
have
that's
an
Is it on the
lovely.
side?
understanding. I don't know.
we haven't.
That
Roommates with
sounds like
benefits.
Leon doesn't pay rent. As long as he does some
No,
favors.
it also
Or
sounds
they
like the
don't pay
roommate doesn't
rent,
pay
one
rent
of the two, exactly,
either.
We have an understanding.
We have a
Oh my
bit,
God,
we have a
that's so
mutual
cool.
beneficiary agreement.
Here we go back to context is key, right? Like that can mean too many different things. But anyway, yeah, okay.
But yeah, no, I was just not in the right headspace, and here I am.
Of course.
Yeah.
Mm.
How you doing?
Oh, yeah, we're all right, mate.
Are
So,
you guys finishing the stream?
we're well.
We will.
We'll get
If
you
I
well,
came
we're
in
not.
as like,
Telling us
is
the
this
piece of
like
scoop.
my like post credit coming in at the end? Just like
Well, I mean,
just
it's really
fucking
Yeah,
shit
good.
up.
we're running the
At the end of
titles
movie,
as we
there's
go.
somebody else like,
No, it's
I'm
not that
also an
bad.
important character.
So
Fine.
yeah,
I'll
well,
do it
bad behaviour.
myself.
we
Fucking-
can do this. Apparently, I am a master interviewer. Apparently, I'm a master interviewer. So, Gaz, you play Gaz obviously in Folorium. We started off with Folorium, so let's go from there. What the fuck's up with all these challenges? What do you think about that?
He was there for that bit.
I don't know.
Bless
There's
you.
a lot of ways that you can go with changelings. In terms of like media, I'm reminded of Star Trek Deep Space Nine when the changelings were like it started off with like it just being one of them, and then the one was like looking for their kind, and then their kind turned out to be the founders. They were like who like also like the Dominion. They were like controlling everything basically, right? So
I
you can
don't think anybody heard that, but I'm pretty sure I heard in the distance Miri screaming or squealing because of the fact that they mentioned the DS9. So
yeah.
I was thinking more like The Thing, where it's like
Oh, yeah,
going
it
around
could
murdering
be.
people.
Well,
Yeah,
it depends
we get that.
how like organized they are, and like if they're able. What are like the changes in like in Folorium? Are we allowed to know that? Do they
We
need
were
to like?
This
we were
entire
literally
thing.
discussing that
Literally
today.
Watch
20
back the
minutes
stream if
talking
you
about
want
earlier on.
information on that.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, we mentioned that because well,
Yeah, we had a
Rachel
massive
was so happy she
conversation.
got to talk about this. She
Yeah, it
decided
was.
wanted to give a little bit more insight into it that she knows from what our
Well,
feeding
the
habits.
changelings in this that we have encountered, Richard said are feral. Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Well, they can
So
be.
obviously,
These ones aren't,
obviously
no?
we know that's not
Well,
good.
if you remember from the lore, from the facts, is the older they get, the curse takes hold. It's basically a curse.
To be
Yeah.
honest, I
So,
would prefer
Yeah,
if
there's
they
the
were
curse.
Yeah.
feral, because the idea of like a society of changelings is terrifying.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. The older
might not all
the
be
older and the
feral.
longer they live, the more they need to feed, and the more they need to feed, they start to become feral and are more aggressive, and they start to regress, if you know what I mean. As opposed
So,
to get wiser, they get more bestial, so to speak.
and is that
Yeah.
inevitable? Will that happen to Nyla?
Who knows?
Yes.
Who
I
knows?
think so. I think so.
It is a curse, so
Curses are never good.
She
So,
might break the curse if the curse
but is it
can
like
be
a
broken.
If it's
is it like a
possible.
genetic curse, or is it placed on you, or can we ask that?
This will be backstory that she'll want to go into later, probably.
Okay. Okay.
If I cast remove curse at like level 8, would it just turn around a person?
first off, I'm pretty sure there's no level 8 spell slot.
Yeah.
It's
No,
level
I-
9.
Because of
I've-
level 9.
there's
I
level
know there
9,
is a
level
remove
8.
curse spell, but I
There
also
is a remove
know,
curse.
but I also know that a
Yeah,
lot of people
I've got
kind of
remove
go
curse
with.
at level 3.
Yeah.
But if I cast it at a higher level, would it just be like more powerful? I don't know. That's a genuine question. I'd be interested to see what it did. Like, because if it is a curse that is bestowed upon them by a god, like a wish spell could potentially remove that.
I will
I don't
point
know.
out removing curse doesn't work on vampires, so
Does it not?
Or lycanthropy, I don't
yeah.
think either.
I think you can, but they have to be willing
At your touch, all curses afflicting one creature or object end. That's what it says. Doesn't say it doesn't work on. I don't know. This is a homebrew thing he's made up because this is not what changelings are.
I will.
If
Well,
he says a god cursed somebody called
I
Dave to
wouldn't
have
say
changeling wings.
homebrew, but I would say that would probably be GM discretion for a curse.
That's what I was
Because
gonna
that
probably say.
that
Yeah.
is game breaky for a lot of storylines. Curse is Strad. Hey Strad, do
Yeah.
solved your problem.
Level-
GM.
level-
Game
I
over.
thought it was level 18, which is ridiculously powerful. Let's have a look. I think it had to be level 17 actually.
Uh,
I know what you mean.
Well, I've been gone for one session, so I'm not sure how the characters were reacting to Nyla. Gaz had a reaction of like disgust
Gaz doesn't
towards.
know.
Gaz
Gaz
doesn't.
doesn't know yet. This is
Gaz
true.
doesn't know. Gaz and
Yeah.
Melgrim are the only two that don't know.
I think if he knew that Nyla was a changeling, that obviously his
Opinions may
Cause-
change,
Uh,
especially because
opinion-
you were getting close.
yeah, opinions
Well,
would
Nyla heard
change
the
on that.
conversation between Melgrim and Gaz, how much you hated them. Like you thought they were bad and that. So Nyla already has feelings about future things.
Oh,
Okay.
Not
feelings
that.
for Gaz. Yeah.
No, well
Yeah, been doing a lot of
that's quite
training.
right. Gaz is gonna keep on just like
Fucking-
That's
Because
just got to keep
Daphne
on
ran away when she
gassing.
found out.
unless Gaz until Gaz has an alternative look at changelings, he's not gonna see them for as differently.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if that's
put it-
prejudiced.
Put it this way, Nyla's not intending on telling Melgrim or Gaz who she is.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. We all have our secrets. We all have our
Next.
secrets.
Next question was, where do you go from here? I mean, you are still on the island. You now have a ship. A lot of people have left the group at this point, which you again don't know about. But where would you go from here?
I think that there's the large option of going to the I don't know if I can get the name right. The paradise.
Casino Planet.
Yeah, the Passion Eternal.
The
Passion
Passion
Eternal,
Eternal.
yeah.
To try and find Ralph's supposed babies. Or
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a good idea. So you wouldn't go down hunt the other changeling, or you just leave it at that and just cut your losses.
In the next episode, we have to find a naked Gaz somewhere because Gaz, what I took which was a changeling, was I
Yeah.
assume wearing his clothes because my passive perception would have picked up, hey, he's naked or he's wearing different clothes. I would assume, or not. Who knows? Maybe the guys had very similar clothes on.
We might have to
naked
spend
Gaz has to stumble and be like, hey, I had a great time last night. I'm so hungover.
we might have to spend this session then looking for my talisman, unless I
Sure.
can call it back to me.
We are not seriously spending a session looking for a fucking
I
necklace.
think
Are
we
we?
do a whole session shopping for new clothes for Gaz, and he just keeps coming up with like stupid clothes. Every time, just a dumb hat.
Draw
and
us
we're
a
like,
picture
"Mira,
of the amulet. Has anybody seen this?
Has anyone seen this like a
Lost
cult-looking
amulet.
amulet?
I believe that is the demon lord Zababadu.
I'll need to message you later, Rachel. Actually, I think I've missed something out, and I'm just remembering back for the conversation earlier in the stream. But okay, I'll get back to you on that.
Okay. Yep.
Anyway, so yeah, that was the case. So you would probably go for the eggs, right?
I think so.
Amazing.
Unless there's a more pressing issue on Nyla to help her in any way.
Aye, I get you.
You
Yeah,
don't
it's
know
it's
this.
it's all about like timing and I guess how we want to approach it. If Ralph wants to go to the Passion Eternal, I think that's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
But
No, I mean, Ralph
Sounds
might
like
be
a
unconscious
strip
for a
club or
whole next
something.
episode now. We don't know what kind of poison he with. So I mean,
Yeah. I'll also.
I think it was probably a knockout drug sort of thing.
Also, on top
convenient
of
knockout
that,
drug. Yeah.
you now have a ship, but you have fuck all money. How's that about?
Actually, I have access to Mendon,
That's
so
true.
I can fix this whole ship if I spend a day doing this. Gaz can go and buy new clothes, and you could spend a day with him, and I'll just slowly go Mandan. Wait 6
I
seconds.
have 10
Mandan,
gold actually. Yeah.
Mandan.
That's true. I think Sir Janice has a couple of gold as well for his performance in the street to try and pull
Yeah.
everyone in the crowd away.
Yeah,
to
you got some.
him.
Just
Pretty clutch as
Obviously,
well.
Gaz threw his money everywhere in
Yeah.
the
because he
Yeah,
had
the
no
there we go.
concept of
and
Yes.
I, as a person, was like, "What the fuck are you
Even if
doing?"
even if Melgrim had money, he wouldn't be giving you any.
I was so
Alright,
happy
I would
you
fully
failed
accept that.
that Constitution saving throw, and you just go, "Right, you know what? I'm here to get pissed, and I'm down." Oh, it was a great.
Gaz could ask his friend what's the best way to get money.
A wink, wink. We know about that wee secret alleyway.
Yeah, I will. I will
Yeah,
hint.
yeah, I can
Yeah.
go
There
back
was
to that,
Pear Valley, and you got a pretty mouth, boy.
we've
also
Oh
we
discussed
Jesus!
your-
No, we're not going there, are we?
No.
we discussed the best bet would probably if we could get some prepayment to deliver some goods. That'd probably be the best bet.
We're gonna deliver the goods in Pear
And
Valley.
Gaz-
Oh,
Well,
and
yeah.
Gaz
Nyla
is
can change her
certainly packing
appearance, so
We can go and
Oh,
ask
God.
Ronan's
sorry,
mum
guys.
for pocket
Sorry.
money.
Ronan's just gonna be hanging out with his mum, and we just leave without him. Is that what's happening?
Are you staying
Probably.
behind to protect his man from what I
We-
gathered?
Or
We
he's got to
could
go back
go-
into that friggin' Iron Oak Ocean and we ain't following him.
I'm so glad we spent 4 episodes in there, and now he's off the street. That wasn't a waste of time.
Nothing we could do about that. To be fair,
I know,
mean,
I
that
know,
was
I'm not
never
blaming you,
that
Jim.
was
I'm
never
only,
the
I'm only
intention.
being silly, but it's
Yeah.
just, I know you knew this was coming. It's just
Is there
so funny.
anything?
We
Is
spent
there
so
anything?
long there.
Is there anything that's on us that we could sell for like enough money to get us by?
We could sell gas.
You could sell your body.
Sell that ass.
Yes, it's
I
the,
think the
it's the
ship-
best commodity we have.
Well, we
It's
have
got a
the
viable
ship
plan of,
which we
like,
could
who would
transport
like to-
goods.
Yeah, I mean, we can take stuff anywhere.
Yeah.
Really,
Yeah.
all we need is food, and we have enough food to get us to the next place. And then we just pick up some like ships, super valuable.
I feel like
Especially
the
right
Passion
now.
Eternal's not going to be that easy to get into. I feel like you
Crash
need an
ships,
invitation to
crash
get into it.
Like Nyla has nothing of
Well,
worth on her.
the place moves. They even
I mean,
said that
other
it's
than
hard
her
for ships to
braces.
travel to.
That ass.
I mean, we could effectively go and sabotage a ship that was like delivering stuff to the Passion Eternal, and then just be like, oh, sabotage. Oh, your ship's
like that
destroyed.
idea.
We could take the stuff.
Oh,
for you.
yeah,
That is
then-
actually a smart
yeah.
idea.
I really like that idea
I
actually.
apologize.
Good idea.
For saying it on stream then.
No, it's
Whoops.
good.
No, you're right. It's good.
It's
idea.
good to have these plans.
It's okay. We
That's-
only have a few watches anyway.
Yeah,
The only
exactly.
ones watching right now are people that playing more games and like 2 other. Well, actually,
Probably
we're other
bots.
2 fans.
Not the 2 fans.
We
yeah.
love you.
They're sitting there like, you can't do that now because that's spoilers.
Yeah.
I mean, hold on. Well, I got an idea. What we could do is that we could.
Fuck
we
you,
could
Ro.
sabotage the ship.
We're not doing that.
Now, Malcolm, this means we would have to go on to the island and have our palace taken from us because you want us to walk around as naked as newborn babes. But anyway, that's my plan. So yeah,
I don't
there
want
go,
to see
Rob
you
goes,
naked anymore.
I mean, technically, I'm always naked if you actually look
Put
at
your
me.
clothes
when you
on.
think
It's
about
just-
it.
Yeah, I mean, I wear a hat. And I've
I'm
got,
aware
like,
of it.
a
I can
strap.
see it hanging
that
out
my
your
hat?
shell.
That's my tail. We don't have the genitals that you do.
Oh, I can't remember what my genitals used to look like.
One day I'm going to cast Greater Restoration on you against your will.
I did tell you.
We
I
already
will
discussed
resist
this,
it.
all of us.
We
Yeah.
I
have.
will
Yeah,
resist
right.
it, and Melgrim
but
might
I'll be a
get
wisdom
very.
saving throw of 18.
You have no idea of how mad Melgrim might get at that one.
That'd be funny though.
It's quite insulting as well.
Why
Yeah,
does
because-
Melgrim hate us?
He doesn't hate us. Just hates
He doesn't
necromancy.
hate us.
But we do cool stuff, and it's like not our fault sometimes.
True.
I
It is a
Gaz-
very
That's
valid
fantastic.
question. Why does he hate you?
He doesn't hate Nyla.
Yes,
Sorry.
doesn't hate Nyla, doesn't hate
Hmm.
Ronan, didn't hate Daphne until she went nearly genocided the guy.
Yeah, she went mad.
Um,
It was pretty cool though. I loved it.
didn't
Yep.
hate Nim. Didn't hate
No,
Bannon.
she didn't.
No,
No,
who could
because
it? Who
she
could
only
hit
made
him?
people dead with a big ass weapon. She didn't do it through like magic.
Nim just didn't like Melgrim because he threatened Ralph, and Ralph was like a family, so that was the only
She'd
thing
known him
there.
for
Oh, and
decades.
Vannon didn't like Melgrim
Who
either,
does?
but Melgrim liked them enough.
To be fair, I mean, it's because he got tortured with like the necromancy at some point, and then we do necromancy, so he hates us.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
I
been
didn't know
covered.
that.
Yeah, is that? And he liked Gaz
Um,
up until Gaz raised corpses right in front of him. It's like, oh shit! Like he's been
Yeah.
pretty forgiving of Gaz.
Gaz can't control it. Like it happens.
I mean, you could
Leon
have
can
choose to not
control it,
done it.
but
Sounds like
I
an
was
uh,
gonna
thing
try
to
and not
say. I
use it.
mean, you can't
so
help
what
it.
you're
You
meaning
can't
is
help
you're an
it. It just happens.
uncontrollable necromancer.
You-
That makes it so much better for Melgrim.
Yeah, that's a lot better.
I've brought this up like 4 times, but like I was gonna like try and move away from all the necromancy spells, and then I looked at my spell list, and like literally all of them are necromancy. Like, well, sorry, man. I guess we're just gonna be enemies. I'm gonna keep casting fast friends on him every now and again, just to annoy him. For an hour, he has to be like my bestie, and then he's gonna know what I've done after an hour and really hate it. And then I can't. Then I'm gonna go and hide
So
from him.
what you're going to do is you're going to cast spells that affect his mind against his will, and you
Yeah.
wonder why he thinks that you should maybe be nerfed if you go into the Empire.
Well, I mean, you could hit things like 4 times at some point. That's pretty powerful as well. Bomp, 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 bomp.
Yeah, but I
I
can't walk
destroy
into
your
a
mind with
merchant.
my power.
I can't walk into like a merchant and just go fast friends and be like, "Give me this at a discount," and walking away.
I never even thought of that usage, but now you put it, I was like, that's a great idea. I
It
should
ends
totally do it.
badly. A lot of people have tried it. If I was the DM, the first thing I would do is he would go to the guard and say, "Casted a spell on me," and then you would be hunted down.
They'd come to I'd cast friends on them as well. Hey, you're my buddy.
You only have
She's
so many
lying to you.
spell slots.
Oh my god, quickly. Guys, I need to
or
leave.
you
I'm
know
using
they
every
might
single
just.
spell slot.
Or if I was a really evil DM, I maybe make you do that, and then they'd just go counter spell.
um,
Or
That's great, but I would be
silence.
devastated.
I don't
Silence,
know if
guys.
I don't know if we have any time, but I wanted to ask a abstract question about Folorium's gods because I don't know if I've asked much about it. The world doesn't seem to be quite religious. I was wondering if there was like an overarching god.
You have to go to the Empire.
You haven't hit the Empire yet. That's where
What
you'll see
happened to our
most of the
buddy that
gods
we had
spraying
with
in.
us? Remember the guy that turned up? Did he just leave?
Latest
Remember-
locks. You forgot
No,
about
the
him.
guy that turned up. When we were back in the caves, we got some dude with us. Did he just die? What did we ever do with
Yeah,
him?
he died.
Aye.
Remember when you went back out of the cave and you were attacked by the
Crabs.
crabs, what?
Because that was a while ago we found him, so he's just been dead for ages. I had no memory. It's just right now he popped in my head. Like,
Yeah,
whatever
he was
happened
the
to that dude?
He was the bodyguard for the two.
No, not that guy.
Latest locks.
When we went to when we actually,
Oh, aye, the guy that yeah, he died on the island.
he also died.
Yeah.
He conveniently died as well. Yeah, they all just died.
I was gonna say though, Leon, it's been sounding like I'll be honest, like two big arcs I've been noticing in this is the religious tension with Freitas Locks and the casino. I'm like,
Well,
how is it you've missed the religious themes?
no, as in like an overarching like god table kind of thing, in the same way that like the Greeks would have like a family system of like gods where they're all like related and shit and like interconnected.
There are many gods. What I would say is you can just assume that the off the D&D table for gods, the pantheons, kind of exist just in different ways. For the likes, the Moonweaver exists in this world, but they are not practiced because Fetus Lux is very much your hardline religion, and it's the religion that must be followed. However, there are other religions out there that likes of the trickster and all that. So
Plus, Ralph is like some water spirit that they pray to.
I
And,
just kind of threw
yeah.
that out there.
God
Richard
of the
allowed
sea,
to have it,
God of the ocean and the sea. However, there is obviously no ocean and sea, but it goes towards the likes of. Well, I kind of made it more wind as opposed to the.
Mhm.
and
yeah,
another
that's fine.
question. This might be something that no one knows. But the Iron Oak Ocean, was that always like that, or was there some kind of event that caused that?
It was never like that. It was something had happened well back in the day. I don't want to really go into the history of
You
it
did go into the
because
history before, but maybe keep it off stream.
yeah,
I
it was
remember
more
you specifically telling us at the very
yeah.
start what it was,
It,
but we weren't streaming then.
well, that's a
I
good
made up
point.
a story for it, if that helps.
I remember it.
I don't remember
He
it
was
at all.
very clear about it, and it was something that we weren't allowed to be in the game because of it.
Mhm.
Fish. We weren't allowed to be fish. Oh, we weren't allowed
Yeah,
to be
because there's no such thing as
Naga.
fish.
Mhm.
Yeah, no such things.
We couldn't
No,
be
you weren't allowed
tridents.
to. You weren't allowed to be a certain class because of it.
Fisherman.
I think I
Or
remember
and
this.
and certain races as well, but
I don't
Yeah.
think I remember this, but it's pretty cool.
But there was a I wouldn't say a catastrophic event. There was an event that happened. It was a spatial event happened. Something hit the Earth. Something hit the planet. Caused a lot of magic, which is kind of warped and magically attuned to the wildlife and trees here. So the trees started to get more stronger off of this thing, which is why there's a specific area in Folorium where you can visit and have been told about before.
Where the dwarves
However,
are.
yeah, there's where the
Trees.
yes, because they are the only ones who know how to shape
But we were
iron oak
offered
oceans.
iron oak weapons at one point. However, we weren't sure if they were real or not.
This is true.
Hmm.
Most we had no money to buy them at that point. That's before he gave us
Yeah,
any
we
money.
had
He's
no
like,
money at all.
look at
Well-
these things you can't have. It's like,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, we still don't have any money. We
No,
have a ship,
knowing
which
that
is cool though.
lore, Gaz wants to stay away as far away from that thing that fell from the planet as possible. Leon, on the other hand, wants to go and see what it
Yeah, yeah.
is.
Yeah, totally.
Well, we have a
Aye.
boat that we can float about on and like look for shit. So that'd be fun.
hmm
It'd be cool if we could.
You also have a map.
And we also have Bard that knows true north.
Yes.
By the way, that'd be
That's
cool.
something.
That'd be cool as
So
hell.
are we in agreement? We're just
That is-
ditching the changelings.
Right,
Like,
screw
"Guys,
your
hold up with that
children."
shit."
You're doing a Fallout 4 to get this main quest.
Side quest. Well, to be fair, I want to go and I want to ditch the that one and then go and rescue the eggs.
Yeah.
Just hurtle back to my islands, fuck the eggs back onto it, and then go and do cool stuff. Like,
Well, if
Yeah.
your brothers didn't betray you, and you've got message, you could save the eggs and get one of your turtles to come and collect them.
well, I
Possibly.
did write a bit of backstory that I think Richard has read in my thing that there is meant to be a turtle outpost somewhere in the Empire, but I didn't know how I want to play it because there's not an embassy. So I'm not going to say any more about that because that's entirely whether Richard really wants to use it or not.
That's a question on lore for the Empire. Do they have embassies? It seems like they would. No, I was
No?
just checking. Mhm.
No such thing as embassies. Like to say, they wouldn't have they wouldn't have a specific dwarven the dwarven mountain
I was
embassies
just
or
meaning
anything like
more
that.
that this
Houses
is
might have like a
right,
like
this
an
is where
office
we
there. no?
discuss things to relate
Yeah,
to
they're
you
not-
guys.
Yeah, they're not necessarily embassies. You know what I mean? There's not as if the Empire can't just come in and say, "No, we'll fucking take you." It's either there are outposts, so to speak, where it's a case of, "Aye, we do our dealings here and blah blah blah, and we get all our stuff." It's more like harbour
Hmm.
areas, areas on the quayside where you can go right. Oh, we're bringing in these goods from such and such an area, and you can come in. That's as closest to an embassy as you'll get.
Aye.
Okay.
However, there is a central bank.
The Iron
Okay.
Bank, but it's not called the Iron Bank because that's from a different thing. So
Yeah.
it's called the Metal Bank.
The Oak Ocean Bank.
The Iron Oak Bank. Nice one, well done, mate. Very good.
No, it's
Great name for our
sorry,
streams.
sorry. I'm just looking at the.
Oh, guys, I'm actually up at 6 in the morning, so I'm gonna need to shoot.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
tell you
I've
the
got
to
the
go in a
back-
minute,
the
so
back-
yeah.
as
Lots
well.
of
I'll give
4
this
hours
a bit.
before me. So
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that was the sanity check-in for the Folorium update. More importantly, but like to say other stuff that's happening. We have a lot of people we need to thank here for coming in. Thanks to Lee. Lee, would you say? Thanks
What?
to Rachel. What do you
Thank
say?
you, Rich.
Fuck you.
What do you say?
Yeah.
Thanks to the Lazy Egypt. What do you say, Lazy
Eh,
Egypt?
Thank you for everybody that's came in to listen to us chatting, and I hope you enjoy our next game. Demon Dog should be on tomorrow, and we will be Mutant next Monday.
I'm actually not ready to go
Nice.
to that.
Yeah,
I'm actually
and
no.
for our latecomer who decided to come in with all these awkward questions,
Subscribe for an OnlyFans. I don't know.
yeah, with his roommate.
It's included in the package.
That bed looks freshly made as well.
That's just because I'm Nate.
You assume he used the bed.
Why? I noticed we've all changed our name to Leon-based things now in the group chat.
I
apart from
was
Gordon,
just
doing
who
it
doesn't want to play.
because it's been
I didn't-
driving me nuts because that Richard's been posting. I've been thinking it's Leon. I'm like, that doesn't sound
I
like
don't know who's
Leon.
posting what now.
So I was just like, fuck this. I'm going Optimus Leon.
yeah.
I love it.
This is
I don't know
worth
who's
thinking
who now
exactly the
because
same thing.
people have also changed profile pictures recently, so I don't know. I'm just like, who the
Mhm.
fuck's this? I don't know.
I'm Leon.
Well, yeah, yours just Leon. You're Leon Prime, mate.
You're
Yeah.
Leon Prime, yeah.
It's
Oh,
Yeah, you are.
I'm not even just
Spare
regular
Leon, so I
Leon.
changed you to Leon Prime. And then no, he's Spare Leon, sorry. And then you went Optimus Leon, which was very funny.
This
Mirror
was because
Universe
of
Leon.
aliens.
Yep.
This is because of aliens, yeah. That's why we
Yeah.
originally done
Watch
that. and now it's
Aliens. We've
very
got,
confusing.
they're up on our channel. If you haven't seen the Alien campaign, you should go down and see that. Where I played
yeah.
the best. I played the best version of Leon.
It was very amusing. Apart from Gordon, who doesn't want to play, he's taken off his nickname, but we'll do it at 3 in the morning when he's awake. No, we'll do it at 2 in the afternoon when he's sleeping
When he's sleeping,
Yeah.
they can't change it until later.
until he looks.
Right, so anyway, that has been Sanity Check-In. Thanks very much for joining us and catching up. For anyone who's any of our fans are watching and interested in any of the games we're playing, we will see you again. We love you all. Thanks for staying. Bye.